Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. Survival in the Wasteland. Deduction of Pupil Technique. White Eyes at the Beginning. Chapter 61. When seeing Su Yu walk out of the flames, everyone was stunned. Didn't it say that the spider web is resistant to fire? How did it get burned by the flames? Didn't it mean that it was impossible to break through? How did it come out like this? And this kind of handsome way of appearance? What's going on? Fox Squid, Siba, Baga, expert, lied to me again. Bang bang bang, bang bang bang. The sound of the screen breaking, the sound of the teacup falling to the ground, the sound of the mobile phone breaking, appeared in many people's homes. They were angry, so angry that they just wanted to destroy everything in front of them. Inside the American Triangle building, everything was lifeless. All the staff looked at the office in silence, only to hear the continuous sound coming from the office. In the office, the fat man saw all this. He flew up into the air, kicked the screen in front of him, smashed the screen, and then yelled, "Fake, what a waste. You even gave me such false information." The more he thought about it, the more angry he became. Fatty Bai called those experts over and scolded them head and face. The same thing happens in every country. In Langguo's office, the little dwarf was furious when he saw all this. Hopes have failed again. Su Yu is not dead yet. Baga, Baga, Baga. Waving the samurai sword in his hand, facing the desk in front of him, he vented his anger, sawdust flying randomly between chopping. In the kimchi conference room, documents are flying around, and black smoke is already coming out of the screen. 3 kingdoms, different from other countries. Langguo fell into a carnival. The originally depressive atmosphere disappeared with the appearance of Su Yu. Many netizens shouted loudly at the screen in front of them, venting their excitement. In the university dormitory, everyone cheered and cheered loudly, resounding throughout the campus. At the same time, in the Yanjing meeting room, the old man has jumped up from the seat. As Su Yu successfully walked out, a big stone fell from his heart. Looking at the blue dragon, he murmured to himself, "What a soaring dragon." The generals, assistants and others behind him also had flushed faces, and their crooked smiles showed their mood. This fire element is definitely not an ordinary fire element. In the studio, Guo Qingfeng stammered to himself. After the giant cyan dragon appeared, he never took his eyes off the screen. So he clearly saw the whole process of the development of things. As soon as those spider webs came into contact with the blue flames, they were devoured, burned, and turned into ashes. The fire resistance carried by the spider silk spit out by the red devil spider web has actually failed. When the cyan flame appeared, everything was reduced to nothing. This is completely unreasonable. The fire resistance of the red devil spider web is top-notch, and even B-level fire element awakeners cannot ignite it. This has been done experimentally, and there will never be mistakes. But Su Yu did it. This is too magical. How hot does this need to be to do it? Could it be that Su Yu's fire elemental power must be stronger than other awakened ones to achieve this effect? After all, it was the first time he had seen that kind of blue flame. Guo Qingfeng can't figure it out. All the experts couldn't figure it out, and fell into deep self-doubt. After everyone came back to their senses, countless bullet screens flooded the live broadcast room. "I got it together. It really came out. I knew, Boss Su, I wouldn't die like this. I'm in tears. Mr. Su really didn't let us down. That blue dragon is so handsome. It is far more domineering than the previous blue dragon. More imposing. This cyan flame seems to be very strong. Look at it, it can even burn rocks. Is this the strength of Boss Su? Didn't the experts say that this spider web is very fire resistant? Why did it disappear all of a sudden? Bold. Can Boss Su's flames be compared with ordinary flames? Su Yu's body looks so muscular. I can't take it anymore." Quote. In the Wasteland world, Su Yu was feeling the changes in his body. Yes, the combination of the 2 flames gave him a deeper understanding of the fire element. The power of this cyan flame is far stronger than that of the red flame, and it has the characteristic of burning everything. Open your palms, and a ball of blue flames dances in your palms. The terrifying burning power seemed to burn the surrounding space. There will be another killer move in the future. With a soft murmur, the flame in his hand dissipated, and he took away all the burning flames in the arena. Only then did Su Yu leave the cave with big strides. He knew that what he was going to do next was to make a quick decision. After all, this battle took up too much of my time. If you don't increase your speed, it's hard to be the first place tonight. Thinking like this, the action is not slow. Use Lingbo Weibo all the way to hurry, and soon came to the shelter again. Also at this time, a sudden change occurred. Suddenly there was a gust of wind. A sound like the cry of a ghost echoed around the shelter. Su Yu felt a wave of sound coming, which made him feel refreshed, and then a sense of fatigue came over him. The sound is weird. Su Yu directly used his spiritual power to seal his ears and cut off the sound interference, and the discomfort in his body gradually disappeared. Suddenly, two white figures emerged from the ground, like ghosts, screaming at Su Yu. So it's you. Ghost. Rank. Grade C. Description. Evil creatures in the Wasteland world, formed by condensed resentment, have terrible spiritual attacks, and their screams can cause. Su Yu's previous discomfort was caused by the screams of these two resentful ghosts. Their sonic attacks can affect the player's actions. With the emergence of new evil creatures, everyone's attention was attracted again. This is the ghost of the resentful ghost, and the shout can cause a terrible mental attack. They are of the same type as the Dark Harvesters, and they are also in the form of a spirit body, immune to all physical attacks. I don't know how Su Yu's physical strength has recovered after the battle just now. Can he still use flame attacks? Or another way of attack? Let's look forward to Su Yu's performance together. Following Guo Qingfeng's explanation, everyone in the live broadcast room has refocused their attention on the situation on the field. Many foreign netizens are still not giving up, and start to think wildly. What if the green dragon was caused by Su Yu's full blow? Now he is bound to be at the end of his rope, and can no longer use the power of the fire element again. Then how to kill these spirit state creatures? Therefore, Su Yu is likely to be killed by them. Even if there is a slight possibility, foreign netizens do not want to give up. In the eyes of everyone, Su Yu finally made a move. I saw Su Yu open his hands, and two blue flowers flew out of his hands. As big as a peach blossom, it emits a little bit of starlight in the dark. While staggering, it slowly floated towards the two resentful ghosts in the field. What is this? Are you trying to kill us? When foreign netizens saw this scene, they all laughed and ridiculed. I guessed right, Su Yu is exhausted. It must be that the green dragon was consumed too much just now, and now Su Yu doesn't have enough elemental power to activate. Is this a flower? What can it be used for? To tickle the resentful ghost. Ha 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 ha, that is so laughable. With such a weak light, the damage must be very low. Don't talk about sea-level evil creatures, I'm afraid they can't even kill ordinary beasts. Huh, something seems wrong. What the hell is this? In the eyes of everyone who can't believe it, the two cyan flowers have already passed through the defense of the resentful ghost and entered its body. Bang bang, bang bang. Amidst repeated explosions, the blue flowers in the ghost's body exploded directly. The surrounding air swayed, and the earth trembled. Boom, accompanied by a loud bang, the eye-catching cyan flame tore through the atmosphere and soared into the sky. The sky-full cyan flame quickly devoured everything around it and spread to the distance. It directly turned the surroundings into a world of cyan flames. The scorching high temperature caused the surrounding temperature to suddenly sound, bringing a terrifying sense of suffocation. Ah 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 ah. In the blue sea of flames, the resentful ghost screamed miserably, its body was being swallowed by the blue flames bit by bit, and disappeared. Die. With a soft snort, Su Yu pointed at the two resentful ghosts in the sea of flames. Immediately, under his control, Huahai manifested two giant hands, and ruthlessly smashed at the two resentful ghosts. Boom! In an instant, the dust wave surged, and the sea of fire surged even more. The two resentful ghosts were directly slapped to death by the giant palm, and the corpses were swallowed by the flames, and completely dissipated in the world. Ding! You successfully killed the sea-level ghost, deduction point plus 3000. Ding! You successfully killed the sea-level ghost, deduction point plus 3000. Comma. What is this? What happened? Can a small flower do this kind of damage? Are you cheating? Everyone was dumbfounded. In the studio, Guo Qingfang's eyes widened, his expression froze. Obviously he hadn't accepted the sudden change. In the live broadcast room, the originally lively barrage also stopped. Everyone stopped what they were doing. Their minds were in a daze, their heads were full of question marks. They can't figure it out. Why did this inconspicuous little flower suffer such harm? Was that endless sea of flames really formed by that little flower? In fact, these two little flowers are produced by Su Yu's compression of the blue flame, and they are the essence of the blue flame. Possesses the ability to destroy the world. The reason why the action is so slow is because the energy contained in the little flower is very huge, it is difficult to control. Coupled with Su Yu's first attempt, it was so slow. The effect is not bad. Looking at the flame world in front of him, Su Yu nodded in satisfaction. He also didn't expect that his attempt would be successful. The power of the cyan flower far surpassed his appearance. It's a pity that the consumption is a bit high. If Su Yu wants to use the cyan fire source, he must combine his own red flame and blue flame to use it together. That needs to consume a lot of his spiritual power, which is far less simple than ordinary fire elemental power, which can be used at will. This is already the third round, we need to speed up. It must be ensured that the first place tonight is mine. Thinking this way in his heart, Su Yu didn't move slowly. Take out the ancient sword in the backpack, and cover the ancient sword with the fire element and the armed color domineering. Await the arrival of the last two evil creatures. At the same time, on an island to the east, Bulwell also neatly ended the third round of attacks. Just now, what he encountered were two black-winged golden eagles. With a wingspan of 8 meters, it covers the sky and the sun. The two golden eagles were successfully dragged into the underground world under the cage of the earth element, ending the battle. Bulwell's golden eyes looked at the red moon in the sky, and muttered to himself, I'm done with the third round, Su Yu. How about you? Let me see what your real strength is. Let us compete. Groove. This power. Invincible. Is this another new skill of Boss Su? How did such a small flower create such power? Ha ha ha, those barking dogs. Are you barking? It was quite fun just now. Is there a ban this time? Let's forget about those foreign dogs, let's study Su Yu's latest ability. Where's Guo Qingfang? Don't be shocked. Get out and explain. That's right, you will only be shocked every day. Have you forgotten that your job is to explain? Don't you want to be those mascots too? Under the urging of the audience, Guo Qingfang finally recovered. He coughed lightly to cover up his embarrassment, quietly reached out to wipe away the saliva from the corner of his mouth, and then slowly opened his mouth. The little blue flower is actually. Su Yu has refreshed monsters. Let's watch the game carefully. In fact, Guo Qingfang couldn't explain all of this. He didn't even understand the cyan flame, let alone that magical little flower. Can only transfer the audience's eyes to the front of the screen. He secretly scolded Su Yu for causing trouble for himself. At the same time, when Su Yu's flowers exploded, research institutes in many countries could not sit still. They see a terrible weapon coming. Such a small thing can actually cause such power. If it is researched by them, the military strength of the entire country will be improved. These research institutes immediately began to study the little flower made by Su Yu. Using the high technology in hand, start to simulate and analyze. How flowers are composed. And how they explode. In the Wasteland world, Su Yu stared coldly at the figures in the distance, and the ancient sword in his hand was accumulating power, ready to attack at any time. I saw that the evil creature in the distance looked extremely ugly, with a height of 3 meters. The green eyes are fierce and terrifying, and there are sharp canine teeth in the mouth, and white saliva is constantly dripping down. The black claws exuded a cold light, and the whole body was surrounded by blood mist. Wherever he walked, not a single blade of grass grew, and the trees withered quickly. Heart Devourer. Level. Grade C. Description. Evil creatures in the Wasteland world, magical creatures born in the dark, like to devour hearts, extremely fast, cunning. These heart-eating night devils run extremely fast. When Su Yu was inquiring about their information panel, the other party had already approached. Ho ho! The heart-eating night demon roared twice, swung its sharp claws, rolled up dust, and grabbed at Su Yu's waist. Brush. Su Yu had sensed the opponent's arrival long ago, and with a slippery step, he skillfully avoided the blow. The ancient sword that had been blessed in his hand was swung directly, bringing a dazzling beam of light. Cut off the sharp claws of the night demon directly. The left fist blasted out instantly. With the blessing of the armed arrogance and the power of the fire element, it directly blasted the head of the heart-devouring night demon. He threw out a ball of flames and destroyed the body of the night demon. Su Yu knew that the dead body of Heart-Eater Night Demon would produce poisonous miasma, which would paralyze people's nerves and must be cleaned up. Ding Yu successfully killed the sea-level Heart-Eater Night Demon, deduction point plus 3000. With the death of his companion, instead of feeling timid, the Heart-Eater Night Devil aroused his hidden ferocity. The heart-eating night demon let out a roar, and spit out green smoke from its mouth, covering its surroundings. As several heart-devouring night demons spewed smoke together, in a short time, the area within 1 kilometer was covered by green miasma. The surrounding plants and trees are rapidly withering visible to the naked eye. This cloud of green air is the talent skill of the night demon. Corrosion jet. In addition to blocking the player's line of sight, there is also a terrible corrosion effect. If the green gas is absorbed for a long time, it will cause the player's whole body to be paralyzed, and the bones will rot, and finally turn into a puddle of flesh. Look at those vegetation, that's the best explanation. Guo Qingfeng in the directing room popularized the efficacy of green smoke for everyone. But in my heart I don't care. This kind of sea-level heart-eater is not enough for Su Yu to kill. In the green miasma, Su Yu snorted coldly. Directly cover the whole body with armed domineering, hold your breath. Boom. Stepping on the ground cracked, and rushed towards the nearest heart-eating night demon. The burning ancient sword is like a red lightsaber in the green miasma. After the continuous cracking sound, the heart-eating night demon was chopped off by Su Yu. Ding Yu successfully killed the sea-level heart-eater night demon, deduction point plus 3000. There are 2 more. An indifferent voice came from a quiet environment. Everyone trembled when they heard the words. They felt a chill from Su Yu's tone, as if these heart-eating night demons were just ordinary beasts in Su Yu's eyes. Kills with a single hit. In fact, Su Yu did exactly that. Boom. Stab. A fiery red spear pierced the sky, shot out from the miasma with unrivaled momentum, and precisely penetrated the head of the night demon. Ding Yu successfully killed the sea-level heart-eater night demon, deduction point plus 3000. There's one more. After whispering softly, Su Yu's feet flickered. A figure appeared strangely behind the heart-eater night demon. The fire fist in his hand slammed down on the heart-devouring night demon. Boom, boom. Accompanied by a loud bang like a roar, the night evil couldn't bear Su Yu's enormous force, and flew backwards. It's not over yet. The next second, a strong wind blew past. Su Yu appeared directly at the place where the night demon landed. Swipe, brush. The ancient sword in his hand was raised high. When the heart-eater landed on the ground, he directly chopped off. Ding Yu successfully killed the sea-level heart-eater night demon, deduction point plus 3000. Wait until the green miasma dissipates. All they could see was a figure standing quietly in the dark night. The 4 mind-eating night demons all turned into a pool of dust. Boss Sus back is invincible. This is too handsome. I admit it. Even a man like me is moved. Upstairs. You were wrong. So fast. How long did it take? 2 minutes. In just 2 minutes, the 4 heart-eating night demons were dealt with. The first one should be stable. The next 2 invasions of evil creatures. Su Yu has shown absolute strength. Under the surprised eyes of everyone, he completed wonderful kills one after another. Take it easy and kill those invading evil creatures. In the 4th round, he faced a 4-winged centipede. Its body length reaches as much as 10 meters, it is multi-segmented and multi-legged, its head is dark red, its body is covered with black scales, and there are 4 pairs of transparent wings on its back. 4-winged centipede. Grade: C+ level. Description: the evil creature in the Wasteland world is infected by evil energy and grows into a giant centipede, which is highly poisonous. After the flesh and blood body is bitten, it will turn into a pool of pus, and the whole body will be covered with armor, which is extremely hard. He was killed directly by Su Yu's fire fist. In the 5th round, they faced 2 dark lizards. It is 4 meters long, covered in armor, and has a long tongue that pierces hard steel like a sharp sword. Dark lizard. Level. Grade C. Description. An evil creature in the Wasteland world, has the function of invisibility, and is a killer in the dark night. The invisibility function of these two lizards was ineffective for Su Yu, and he cut off two heads directly. After 5 rounds of fighting, Su Yu gained a lot of deduction points. Everyone in the live broadcast room was also impressed by his efficient fighting. Every battle can always attack the most critical position. Facing the attacks of these creatures, Su Yu can always deftly avoid them. Seeing Su Yu end the battle so quickly, the live broadcast room was full of bullets. Awesome. Boss Su is forever a god. 6666, the number 1 should be stable. Not necessarily. Bulwell on the American side is also very fast. If Boss Su hadn't lost some time because of the Red Devil Spider, he would definitely have won. I still think Boss Su is faster. You can see that Boss Su seemed to be able to find the position of the other side when he faced the 2 dark lizards. The battle ended in less than a minute. Maid, is there no one to keep the clock? You have to wait until 6 o'clock to know the result. It's too tortured. The battle is so fast, who can time it? Unless the official announcement. Boss Su is going back to the house. Hey, I can't see my husband again. While everyone was discussing the ranking situation, Su Yu had already walked back to the courtyard. After this battle, he gained close to 50,000 deduction points, and with the remaining before, it has reached 70,000. It's time to deduce some new abilities. Thinking of this, Su Yu was already sitting cross-legged on the bed, thinking about what kind of ability he should deduce in his heart. After these few battles, he gained some new ideas. First of all, his fighting style, or the element attributes, are too monotonous. If you encounter a fire-resistant beast, it will be very troublesome. Therefore, Su Yu decided to deduce an ability to carry attributes, thus becoming an elemental awakener. What attribute deduction should I choose? Earth, ice, thunder. Still, he dragged his cheeks and thought. Gradually, Su Yu has made a decision. Thunder attribute. As we all know, among the various methods, the most powerful one is the thunder method, which possesses incomparable destructive power. Use it together with the violent fire attribute can maximize Su Yu's combat effectiveness. In addition, the thunder attribute also improves the speed to a certain extent, which is a good benefit. As for earth and ice, these are all biased toward auxiliary or defensive types. Su Yu wasn't too interested. Even if you have thought about the attribute to be deduced, you have to think about an ability. In the courtyard, fell into silence again. Time passed by like this bit by bit. With it, I can deduce the 5 thunders to correct the law, Su Yu said suddenly. The 5 thunders rectification method is one of the Taoist spells. Thunder is born of the qi of yin and yang, thunder is yang, and ting belongs to yin. The 5 thunders are distinguished by 5 elements. The eastern wooden thunder is in the liver palace, the southern fire thunder is in the heart palace, the western mountain thunder is in the lung palace, the northern water thunder is in the kidney palace, and the central earth thunder is in the spleen palace. Yonglei is dominated by heart palace fire thunder, governing wood thunder and earth thunder, forming crimson palace thunder. Yin thunder is mainly water thunder, ruling territory thunder and mountain thunder, forming sunflower thunder. Thinking of this, Su Yu asked the system. System, how many deduction points are needed to deduce the 5 thunders? System, Ding Wulei Zhengfa is a B+ level ability and requires 60,000 deduction points. After hearing the system reply, Su Yu couldn't help but gasp. It actually needs 60,000 deduction points. This is his hard work all night. 60,000 is 60,000. Su Yu gritted his teeth and shouted to the system. System, I want to deduce the 5 thunders. Ding, are you sure you will spend 60,000 deduction points to deduce the 5 thunders? The system prompt sounded in Su Yu's mind. Confirm. Su Yu nodded with certainty. Boom. There was a roar in his ears, and Su Yu's mind shook. Then I saw little blue figures floating in the sea of consciousness, making various changes. Or stand, or sit cross-legged, or walk. Countless acupoints light up all over the villain's body, and streaks of blue light travel through his body. Immediately, blue electric arcs appeared in the villain's hands. With the help of the system, Su Yu quickly entered the state. Follow the villain to make various movements. use the white eyes, and feel the direction of the spiritual power in the body. Shish! A series of lightning arcs began to gather around Suyu's body. Strands of blue arcs scurried around him like silver snakes. Time flows slowly. Gradually, the arcs around Suyu's body gathered more and more, and became thicker and thicker. 5 minutes later. Si wei wei wei. He wei wei wei. I saw a group of dazzling thunder light gathered in Suyu's hands. The violent power of thunder element seemed to tear everything apart. The next moment, the thunder in Suyu's hand began to expand, exploded. Squeak. As the thunder light exploded, the violent elemental power of thunder and lightning swayed crazily throughout the room. Everything touched by the blue electric light disappeared in an instant, and the whole courtyard began to flash with blue light. At this time, everyone in the live broadcast room can see that in the courtyard below, a dazzling blue light will appear from time to time, accompanied by a loud noise. All this is extremely obvious in the quiet darkness. What was that just now? What's wrong? Did you see it? Why did I see a blue light from the courtyard? I'll do it. There's still thunder. Is this thunder? There is no thunder. Suyu's courtyard is not leaking electricity, is it? Are you stupid? There are no electrical appliances in the Wasteland world. Why is there a leakage? Then what is this flickering thing? Could it be that Suyu is cultivating some ability again? Quote. In the room. Finally got it. While whispering softly, Suyu opened his eyes, and 2 arcs shot out from his eyes, directly piercing the floor. The next moment, the system prompt sounded in my mind. Ding! Congratulations to the host, successfully deduced the 5 thunders Dharma. In the courtyard. Ding! You spent 600 deduction points and successfully upgraded the 5 thunders to the 2nd level. Ding! You spent 1200 deduction points and successfully upgraded the 5 thunders to the 3rd level. Ding! You spent 2400 deduction points and successfully upgraded the 5 thunders to level 4. After a series of beeps, Suyu directly upgraded the 5 thunders to level 4. With his eyes closed, he felt the changes brought about by the upgrade. So that's how it is. Is this the 5 thunders rectification? While Qingsheng murmured, 2 groups of blue lightning quickly condensed in Suyu's hands. Squeak! The sharp voice made the whole courtyard tremble. At this moment, Suyu's stagnant spiritual power suddenly surged. Ding! Congratulations to the host, your cultivation has successfully reached the late 4th order. Breakthrough. After deducing the 5 thunders, Suyu's grasp of the power of the elements has gone a step further, and his cultivation has naturally achieved a breakthrough. He immediately sat cross-legged, feeling the new changes brought about by the breakthrough. Host. Suyu. Cultivation. Late Tier 4. Spiritual power. 3000. Abilities. White Eyes LV2 300 2000. Elementary Breathing. Dugu 9 Swords LV3 401,200. Phoenix Immortal Fire Technique LV3 401,200. Yi Jin Jing LV3 181,200. Fire Fist LV3 02,400. 5 Thunder Correction LV4 05,000. At this time, the time has come to 4:15. The entire Wasteland world was completely silent. Many players have ended the battle and returned to the shelter to rest. At this moment, the world channel became lively. John. Fac. I actually met a C+ grade 1-eyed wolf and was almost taken away by it. Torso. My left arm has been injured, bitten by a boa constrictor. Selvin. I don't know who can win the first place on the list this time. Wangpeng. Nature is Suyu. Suyu is the eternal god. Elizabeth. Hey, Suyu just told me that he must be number 1. Bulwell. Ha ha ha, I'm sorry everyone, this time the number 1 ranking is mine. When Wangpeng saw Bulwell's speech, he laughed out loud. An ordinary person dared to speak nonsense, and wanted to snatch Suyu's first place, otherwise he would not agree. Immediately made a mockery. I think you were in a dream. Just because of you, you deserve to be number 1. You don't even deserve to lift Suyu's shoes. Fact. No matter how well-bred Bulwell was, when he saw the series of taunts from Wangpeng, he couldn't help yelling. Is that Wangpeng? Very good. Don't let me meet you. At the same time, he remembered the name Wangpeng in his heart. Meanwhile, in the real world, the leaders of various countries are staring at the report in their hands and studying it carefully. I saw, Wasteland World, third night race ranking, written on the cover of the report. Yes, when the player battle begins. They have already started to help the players record the time. Although the recorded time is somewhat deviated from the Wasteland time. However, it can be used as a reference to let them know what they know. I only saw the ranking of the players clearly listed in the report. Third night race ranking. First place, American player Bulwell, time spent, 15 minutes and 28 seconds. Second place, Long Guo player Su Yu, time, 15 minutes and 29 seconds. Third place, American player John, time spent, 28 minutes and 40 seconds. Fourth place, Long Guo contestant Yi Qing, time spent, 30 minutes and 48 seconds. Fifth place, contestant from Yingjiang country Tuo'er Suo, time spent, 36 minutes and 40 seconds. Sixth place, Shangguo player Antonio, time spent, 40 minutes and 50 seconds. Seventh place, Shangguo player Sailfin, time spent, 44 minutes and 47 seconds. Eighth place, when the leader of the United States saw that the first place was Bulwell, his pupils shrank instantly. The report in his hand was crumpled into a ball because of his excitement. Woohoo! Take off, Bulwell. Sure enough, I saw you right. The first is from our country. Without hesitation, he directly handed the wrinkled report to the assistant behind him, and ordered. Go and spread the news, let everyone know the news. Fatty Bai was so excited that he didn't continue to read the report below, so he ordered his assistant to spread the news. He is going to go to the room, open a bottle of red wine, and celebrate this exciting moment. The United States. Rise, comma. At the same time, in the Longguo conference room. The old man also received the same report. When I saw that the name of the first place was not Su Yu. The old man's heartbeat stopped, and his eyes continued to scan downward. Second, by a second, everyone behind the old man heard his speech. Out of curiosity, everyone poked their heads in front of the old man and looked at the report in his hand. What? Su Yu is the second place. This is impossible. If it wasn't for the red devil spider delaying the time, the first place would definitely be Su Yu's. After seeing all this, a young general shook his head continuously and shouted anxiously. It seems that this fact cannot be accepted. His dark cheeks were flushed red. What are you panicking about? There's not much difference between the two. The old man was quite dissatisfied and glared at the young general. The time difference between Su Yu and Bulwell was only 1 second. There is still a certain gap between the Wasteland world and the information they received. The ranking of Wasteland world is accurate to the microsecond. Only the rankings there are real. The rankings don't seal the case yet. Su Yu should still have a chance, the old man said to himself. At the same time, netizens who were waiting for the arrival of 6 o'clock on the internet were attracted by a page that suddenly appeared. The third night racing leaderboard is known in advance. Curious netizens entered this page one after another. Then I saw the ranking of the players one by one. After the news of the third night racing leaderboard spread, many people have received this message. When they saw that number 1 on the leaderboard was Bulwell, many people were taken aback. How is the first Bulwell? Who is he? Why not Su Yu? This is going to change. In the Dragon Kingdom forum, everyone is discussing this matter. What? Su Yu turned out to be the second place. It shouldn't be. I watched the whole process in his live broadcast room, it's obviously very fast. Except for being delayed by the red devil spider. It's over. This time, the Americans won the first place. Don't panic, we're not sure about the authenticity of these news, we can't blindly believe it, let's wait for the news at 6 o'clock. Many Dragon Kingdom players were a little disappointed seeing all this. They didn't expect that Su Yu was not number 1. Netizens in many countries are also discussing the third night racing leaderboard. Ha ha ha, Su Yu is not number 1 this time, so comfortable. Our country is about to take off. Big brother of the United States, newbie. He deserves his name. It's hard to tell. I'm not sure if this news is true or not. It's true. A friend of mine who works in the US intelligence agency told me. As long as it's not a Dragon Country player who gets the first place, anyone can. Ula, the ranking of our Shangguo players is quite high. When it was almost 5:15. Everyone received the racing ranking list that went viral on the internet. While doubting the authenticity, they are all waiting for the arrival of 6 o'clock. What if it's fake? Everything can change. When the time came to 5:30, all eyes were on the Wasteland world. They are all waiting for the arrival of 6 o'clock. Many people don't believe the rumors on the internet, and they will give up only after seeing the real racing leaderboard appear. As time passed slowly, the number of people in the live broadcast room of each player is getting bigger and bigger. People glance at the mobile phone in front of them from time to express their eagerness. Leaders from various countries also focused their attention on the live broadcast room. They knew better than the masses that the authenticity of the ranking spread on the internet. Except for the ranking between Suyu and Bulwell, none of the other rankings will fluctuate much. Now they just want to know who is number one. After all, the time gap between the two is very small, so there is no guarantee that there will be no problems. Early morning. The sky is gradually breaking dawn, and the earth is hazy, like a silver-gray veil. At this time, Wan Lai was afraid of the silence, and suddenly there was a bird cry, which broke the silence. The sun rose slowly, driving away the last trace of darkness. A World 233 notice appeared in front of all the players. The third night is over. Congratulations to Dragon Country player, Suyu successfully reached the top with amazing speed. Became the king of racing. The rewards here are as follows. Advanced Resource Gift Package X8, Advanced Material Supply Package X8, Special Material Gift Package X3, Gold Level Blueprint X1, Gold Level Equipment Treasure Box X1, Camp Formation X1, Robot Treasure Box X2. I hope other contestants will work harder. The fourth night, Never Ending, is coming. After 3 consecutive beeps, each player has a leaderboard above his head. Really, I guessed right. It's still him. This is the voice of many players. After the previous several times of torture, the hearts of the contestants have become extremely strong. Coupled with the previous visual sharing, they already have a certain understanding of Suyu's strength. Those are B-grade thighs. Far from being comparable to their group of weak chickens. Therefore, when Suyu's name rang in their ears, the contestants were surprisingly calm. In their view, all this seems so natural. After all, he is Suyu. On an island, Bulwell's originally indifferent expression froze instantly after hearing the system prompt. Quote ? How is this possible? First place. How is Suyu? Why, it's not me. This time, Bulwell showed all his strength. He didn't believe that Suyu's speed would surpass him. Therefore, his first reaction was that he had heard it wrong. Quickly open the leaderboard to view. Then, the leaderboard came into view. Third night race ranking. First place. Long Guo contestant, Suyu, time, 15 minutes 27 seconds 15 milliseconds. Second place. American player, Bulwell, time, 15 minutes 28 seconds 30 milliseconds. Third place. American player, John, time spent, 28 minutes 44 seconds 47 milliseconds. Fourth place. Lone Guo contestant, Yi Ching, time spent, 30 minutes, 47 seconds, 25 milliseconds. 53. Fark, it's even worse than this. I don't agree. After seeing the small gap on the leaderboard, he was completely angry, and his roar resounded over the entire island. The originally exquisite facial features are gradually distorted. If he knew that Suyu was delayed for some time because of the Red Devil Spider, his expression would be even more exciting. Beside the stream, the Yubai team cheered BCAI after learning that Suyu had climbed to the top again. I knew it. Boss Su will not let me down. Wang Peng was the most excited one in the team, and was about to open a private chat message and send a congratulatory message to Suyu. Zhuo Wenhao looked at the second place in the leaderboard with a little surprise, and said, "Who is the second Bulwell on the list? It's so close to Suyu." Everyone heard the news and immediately checked the leaderboard. Sure enough, the time gap between the two was very small. It's so dangerous. Boss Su almost lost the number 1 position. In the courtyard, when the game prompt sounded, Suyu has already woken up. Get up and check the leaderboard. After seeing Bulwell's name, Suyu was also a little surprised, but that was all. Now, his strength has been improved, plus the newly deduced 5 attributes of righteousness. If Suyu is given a chance, he can complete all battles within 10 minutes. After quickly scanning the leaderboard, Suyu directly opened the backpack to check the rewards issued by the game. There are so many rewards. Looking at the prize lying quietly in the backpack, Suyu said with emotion. After a brief thought, he decided to open a few resource boxes first. Ding, you have successfully opened the Advanced Resource Gift Pack X8. Obtain, Gold Nugget, Meteorite Iron Nugget, Agate, Silver Nugget, Cold Iron X800. Ding, you have successfully opened the Advanced Material Supply Package X8. Obtained, Lanzhou Ramen, Chicken Stewed Mushroom, Fat House Happy Water X800. Ding, you have successfully opened the Premium Material Gift Pack X3. Obtain, Chalcedony, Golden Nanmu, Beeswax, Magic Spar X300. After the golden light, various props appeared in Suyu's backpack. The backpack should be upgraded again. Whispering in a low voice, Suyu set his eyes on the treasure chest belonging to him. Gold level blueprint treasure chest. After opening, you can randomly get a gold level blueprint. Gold level equipment treasure chest. After opening, you can randomly get a piece of gold level equipment. Robot treasure chest. After opening, you can randomly obtain robots of any level. Camp formation. After opening, a random formation will be obtained to protect the camp. Without hesitation, Shiji opened all the treasure chests. In the next second, streaks of golden light lit up from Suyu's body. Ding, you have successfully opened the gold level blueprint treasure box and obtained a laser tower blueprint. Ding, you have successfully opened the gold level equipment treasure chest and obtained the shadowless sword gold level. Ding, you have successfully opened the robot treasure chest and obtained X1 battlefield robot gold level and X1 sentry robot silver level. Ding, you have successfully activated the camp formation and obtained the cloud dragon formation. Shadowless sword gold level. Durability 80/80ths. Strength plus 50, sharpness plus 100, sensitivity plus 15, weight plus 4. Accessory skill. Void slash. Cut through the void with a sharp blade, generating unmatched sword energy to cause huge damage to the target. Cooldown time 4 hours. Moon Shadow Ancient Sword finally to be eliminated. Suyu looked at the shadowless sword in his hand and muttered to himself. It was a treasured sword with no blade and only a hilt from its appearance. As Suyu held the hilt of the sword, a magical scene happened. Prick, prick, the transparent sword body finally appeared. Like a lightsaber, a burst of icy cold air hit, it looked extremely sharp. Suyu held the lightsaber and casually pointed at the wall in front of him. Boom, a deep gully was cut directly into the wall. A random blow has such an effect. Suyu didn't expect that he would cause this kind of damage with a random blow, and he was more satisfied with the sharpness of the shadowless sword in his heart. If it is used together with his elemental power and armed domineering color, the power will definitely be even more astonishing. After a simple test, Suyu set his sights on other props. Radium Tower. Level. Gold level. Almighty Defense Facility, which can shoot laser light to kill invading enemies. Need to consume energy source stone. Construction requirements. Alloy X3000, Chrome Block X1000, Magic Spar X500, Energy Source Stone X100. It turned out to be a defensive building, let's build it later. Suyu now focuses on the rewards and doesn't care about building equipment at all. After storing the drawings in the backpack, I set my sights on the last 2 items. Cloud Dragon Formation. Level. Gold level. The array of fairy arts. Swallowing clouds and breathing clouds and dragon formation. Breathing out clouds can confuse the enemy's sight, drag them into the illusion, and protect the safety of the camp. Required to build the formation. Cloud Dragon Stone X400, Magic Spar X300, Healing Wood X3000. Arrangement location. Look at the dense construction needs. Suyu felt his scalp go numb. There are a lot of materials in it, he has never heard of them, let alone successfully arrange the formation. It seems that this formation is not something that I can use now. After Suyu put away the Cloud Dragon formation, he directly took out the remaining 2 robot scrolls in the backpack. After crushing with the scroll, 2 white lights suddenly appeared, and a small figure appeared in the room. 4 red lights looked at Suyu. Electronic speaker sounds. Dididi. Battlefield robot, glad to serve you. Wow, woof woof. Only then did Suyu look at the two robots. The battlefield robot is a humanoid robot with a height of 3 meters. It is covered with silver metal, with 2 laser guns on its back and a laser sword hanging from its waist. Suyu knows this kind of robot. The combat power is very strong, and it can fight with ordinary D-level beasts. It is the best choice for guarding the home. As for the sentry robot, it is an electronic dog, wagging its electronic tail, and acting coquettishly towards Suyu. Its function is to keep watch and warn. At the same time, they also have a dog's nose-like sense of smell, which can help players find food and supplies. At the same time, with the announcement of the Wasteland World Third Night Racing Leaderboard, the news media and major website platforms immediately spread the news to all parts of the world, attracted the attention of all mankind. When people saw the leaderboard for the first time, they were stunned. Really, it is different from the version on the internet. Not Bulwell, it's Suyu. Suyu is still number 1. Fark, we have all been deceived by information on the internet. Lied by the United States. At this time, the fat man was in the study, sniffing the fragrance of the high-end red wine in his hand, and tasting the exquisite food. The manner is elegant and indifferent, just like a noble. Jingle bell, jingle bell. Suddenly, the phone rang in the quiet room. Fack, who dares to disturb my elegance? Slightly dissatisfied, the fat man grabbed the cell phone in front of him and connected. Why are you calling me in the middle of the night? Are you sure? Is it really not Bulwell? Is it Suyu? The room fell completely silent. His eyes widened in astonishment, the smile on his face suddenly froze, his mouth opened into an O shape, and he was frozen in place like a wooden man. After a long time, the sound of a wine bottle falling to the ground came from the room. Bang bang bang. Fark, mixed with the incompetent rage of the white fat man. The old man of Longguo also received this news immediately. The old man sat on the bench, sighed, and murmured. Sure enough, the first place is still Suyu. The executives behind him also smiled and looked at the information in their hands. Point 0. The originally depressing atmosphere in the field disappeared in an instant. When the people of Longguo received the message, the disappointment in their hearts had long since disappeared. Sure enough, Suyu did not disappoint them. The first place is still their Dragon Kingdom. A large number of netizens poured into Suyu's live broadcast room, sending various congratulatory bullet screens. Ha ha ha, our dragon country is still number 1. Boss Su is awesome. It really is reliable. Mr. Su is still so fierce. I like it so much. 6666, I knew the news on the board was fake. Made. I was almost deceived by the Americans, but luckily I have been waiting for the official update. Now, I can finally sleep peacefully. It is different from the reaction of the people in Longguo. When the American people received the information for the first time, they couldn't believe what they saw. I saw that the first name on the list turned out to be Suyu. What about Bulwell? Why did it change to Suyu? Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. They were completely angry, and they all pointed their finger at the official website behind them, asking for an explanation. Fact. The government is lying to us. Why is the information given wrong? What about the staff? Why don't you come out and give us an explanation? A large number of American netizens flooded into the official website forum. In just a few minutes, there were more than 1 million comments, which directly paralyzed the official website of the United States. Boss, our official website forum crashed again. In the duty room, a blond man shouted loudly to the supervisor behind him. What? Crashed again. Who did it? Could it be the people from Longguo who did it again? When the supervisor heard the news, he immediately thought of Longguo netizens. 10 sprays in that second. Relatives and friends explode at the speed of light. The hearse is elegant. These are the pains he never wants to recall. No, it's not. It's the netizens of our own country. The blond man replied stammeringly. The supervisor was immediately dumbfounded. WTF? What's going on? Go straight to the computer and check it out. It caught my eye, densely packed with comments, all kinds of swearing, all kinds of expressions, all kinds of trash talk. Number 1 in the United States, what about the leader? Why don't you come out and explain? Long live the United States. Fact. Garbage government. spreading fake news to deceive us. I love America. We demand an apology. We want to defend our rights. The most handsome reader. Where is the staff? Get out and get scolded. Reader's biggest. Tell us. Why isn't number 1 Bulwell? This is going to be a big deal. Yodel never expected that the reason for the collapse of the forum on the official website was actually caused by his own countrymen. This game is over. Yes, hurry up and report to the superior. He knew it was not something he could make up his mind about. He didn't care to wipe off the sweat that oozed from his forehead. He grabbed the phone on the table and dialed it. Soon, the high-level officials in the United States received this message. They also did not expect that this chaos was actually caused by their own country. When Fatty Bye received the message, he also panicked. He only ordered his assistant to spread the news, but forgot to keep it secret. Now it's all right, the masses are all fried. In the end, in order to appease the anger of the masses, the top management could only shift all the responsibility to Yodel. Let him become a backer. The matter gradually subsided. Ding, you have consumed Alloy X3000, Chrome Block X1000, Magic Spar X500, Energy Source Stone X100, and successfully built a laser tower. Next second, a 5-meter-high tower rises from the ground, with a transparent crystal directly above it, and the inside is filled with terrifying laser light. In the Wasteland world, the laser tower is a consumable building. Every time laser light is emitted, a certain amount of energy source stones are consumed. When the stored energy source stones are consumed excessively, players need to replenish them by themselves. Therefore, when it is not fighting, the players will not open it. Naturally, Suyu is no exception. After the construction is completed, he directly closes it. Ding, you have received a private message. Ding, you have received a private message. Ding, you have received a private message. Opening square bracket, closing square bracket. Ever since the competition ranking came out, the beeps in Suyu's mind have not stopped. No need to think about it. Besides the players, there must be Wang Peng's shadow. For his own consideration, Suyu did not check any private chat messages. Instead, he opened the trading bank and took back the materials traded. Ding, you get through the trading line. Wood X5000, Stone X5000, Dirt X3000, Fine Sand X3000. After a batch of materials were put on the shelves again, Suyu walked out of the room and walked towards the animal training ground. At this time, in the animal training ground, the flame red tiger was resting lazily on the grass. After a night of domestication in the animal training ground, the current flame red tiger has appointed Suyu as its master. I saw Suyu approaching. The flame red tiger was like a puppy. With big strides, it rushed towards Suyu, and stretched out its huge tongue, about to lick Suyu's cheek. Ah, let's forget about this. Suyu dodged to avoid the flame red tiger's licking. He reached out and stroked its head. As soon as the flame on the top of the flame red tiger touched Suyu's arm, it went out instantly as if it had encountered a natural enemy. It turned out to be a tribute suppression. Go, let's go. After Suyu released the flame red tiger, he turned over and landed firmly behind it. One man, one beast, plus a mechanical dog, rushed towards the forest. After seeing this scene in the live broadcast room, everyone was envious. I want a mount like this too. Oh my god. After riding this fiery tiger, Suyu looks even more handsome. Yeah, the appearance is almost catching up with the reader. I still feel a little bit worse. Have you heard? The United States has apologized. Ha 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 ha, I heard. Deserve it. Let them spread the uncertain news, it will be strange if they don't die. The reason why Suyu rode the flaming red tiger when he went out this time was very simple. He's going on a treasure hunt today, relying on the mechanical dog behind him and the ability to roll his eyes. He believed that something would be gained. The flame red tiger is very fast. The scenery on both sides is like a reflection, and it is quickly skipped. During this process, Suyu's white eyes ability has been fully opened, looking around, looking for traces of the treasure chest. Today's Suyu, the huge spiritual power in his body is enough to support Bayan to use it all the time. As for the mechanical dog, it was released by Suyu a long time ago to let him find the treasure chest by himself. When it finds the treasure chest, it will automatically bring it back to the camp. 10 minutes later, nothing. 30 minutes later, nothing. Half an hour later, still nothing. Suyu's various behaviors seemed so weird to everyone in the live broadcast room. Everyone couldn't figure out the purpose of Suyu's trip, and discussed it one after another. It's been half an hour, what is Suyu doing? I'm thinking about it too. It doesn't feel like I'm hunting. 2.7 inches hunting. Are you kidding me? Mr. Su has so many supplies. Still need hunting. Are you looking for the trail of the beast? Come on. This is possible. I think Su Da's hands are itchy. Want to kill a few beasts to add to the fun. 10 minutes later, when Suyu came to an abandoned factory, the originally plain expression finally changed. Through the white of his eyes, he saw a golden treasure chest lying quietly in the warehouse. A golden treasure chest again. This wave is another small fortune. With one kick, he rode into the factory on a flame-red tiger. One man and one tiger have stopped outside the gate of the abandoned factory. Suyu turned over handsomely and got off the tiger. After landing, the shadowless sword in his hand brought a white light. Bang dang, bang dang. The iron gate was cut in half directly. In the dust, two figures walked straight into the abandoned factory. Out of prudence, Suyu still didn't go directly to gold. Instead, he pretended to be looking for materials and wandered around the entire abandoned factory. Do you collect some junk and put it in your backpack? That's it, go through one, and there's a room. Finally, it stopped at the door of the warehouse. After splitting open the iron gate with a sword, he walked in. This warehouse is very large, and all kinds of scrapped equipment, like steel giants, are piled up everywhere, and industrial debris can be seen everywhere. And the golden treasure chest is in the middle of a pile of sundries. Suyu pretended not to care, rummaging through the warehouse. Look here, look there. 3 minutes later, he finally walked to the side of the sundries. 12. Randomly pushed aside a pile of garbage, a corner of the golden treasure chest was exposed. So golden, so dazzling. What is this? Could it be gold? Everyone in the live broadcast room was attracted by Suyu's words. Follow Suyu's perspective. The dazzling golden light has blinded everyone's eyes. That's not gold at all. That is a golden treasure chest. Puff puff. In the studio, Guo Qingfeng squirted out the water he just drank before swallowing it down. He didn't even bother to wipe the corners of his mouth, and stared at the screen without blinking his eyes. What a golden treasure chest! Guo Qingfeng shouted to the camera. Suyu found another golden treasure chest. The live broadcast room completely exploded. I am Nima. There is really a golden treasure chest. Boss Su is so lucky. Absolutely perfect son. The son of destiny deserves his name. This is already the second treasure chest opened by Mr. Su. It's the third one, 2 gold and 1 silver. Hey, Su Gai is so good. Even opening boxes is more handsome than other contestants. Messages travel quickly. 1 past 10, 10 past 100. After hearing that Suyu found the golden treasure chest again, many people were in the dark. Does anyone really have such luck? To confirm, check out Suyu's live broadcast room. At the same time, reporters, scientific researchers, leaders of various countries, and scientific research teams also rushed to Suyu's live broadcast room. The old man naturally also received this news. At this time, he was holding a cup of tea, waiting for Suyu to open the box with everyone. As a large number of people poured into Suyu's live broadcast room, the live broadcast room became abnormally stuck. The originally dense barrage was emptied. At this moment, global attention. Everyone is waiting for Suyu to open the box. They are also curious about what will explode in this golden treasure chest. At this moment, a barrage suddenly appeared in the eyes of everyone. Tell me, will Suyu be the same as last time, carry the golden treasure chest back to the shelter, and then open it? Question mark question mark question mark. Question mark question mark question mark question mark. Black question mark. The teacup in the old man's hand almost fell to the ground. After being reminded by the barrage, everyone remembered it. Last time, Suyu didn't seem to open the box live. There is no guarantee that this kind of underworld operation will not happen again. Everyone was not sure what Suyu was thinking. After all, he's always been this elusive player. Everyone held their breath and stared at the live broadcast. Su Yu went straight to the golden treasure chest. The palm caresses the golden treasure chest. Time inadvertently looked to a corner outside the house. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. He saw that there was a silver treasure chest lying quietly in the desert outside the house. Waving to myself, what's going on today? Treasure chests that are so rare on weekdays appear one after another. Is there a promotional activity for treasure chests today? Buy one get one free. Don't care about him. If you see him, take them all away. Thinking of this in his heart, Su Yu began to think about how to take this silver treasure chest away. At this time, Su Yu kept his palm on the treasure chest, dazed in a daze. From the eyes of everyone in the live broadcast room, this is the appearance of opening a treasure chest. They are excited. High blood pressure. Ha ha ha. Su Yu has a change, and she wants to open the box live. Open the box or open the live broadcast to stimulate, otherwise we don't know what props will be opened. Yeah, that's too tantalizing. I still remember the last time Su Yu opened the box, because he didn't open it on the spot. I thought about it all night and didn't sleep. Hush, Su Yu moved. He's about to open the box. In the anticipation of everyone, Su Yu finally moved. I saw him lift up the golden treasure chest and leave. Everyone exploded. I am Nima. How is this going? I promised to open the box. Why didn't I open it again? It's useless. I'm suffering again this wave. Under Su Yu's operation, many people collapsed. The teacup in the old man's hand finally fell to the ground with a crisp sound. Holding the golden treasure chest, Su Yu jumped behind the flame red tiger. The flame red tiger sank, and there was a loud noise under its feet. It can be seen how heavy the treasure chest is. Walk. Pat the tiger's back lightly and tell it to move forward. Under the hint of Su Yu, the flame red tiger ran towards the direction of the silver treasure chest. In the yellow sand all over the sky, a silver treasure chest appeared in everyone's sight. Fark, Siba, Baga, this is what everyone thinks. At this time, they have not yet come out of Shang Su Yu's operation in the underworld. In the end, you told me there was another treasure chest. Doesn't this go straight to heaven? Or are other players still playing? Su Yu has the most supplies among the players. Then came 2 more treasure chests. If they are all turned on, they take off directly. When did this Wasteland world start, and the surname was changed to Su? Dog authors dare not write like this. The sun like a fireball hangs high in the sky, scorching the earth, and the heat waves on the ground burn people's skin. In the billowing dust, a man and a tiger were walking quickly. I saw 2 huge treasure chests on the back of the giant tiger, which seemed a bit strenuous. Come on, hurry up and go home, I'll give you sea-grade beast meat. Under the temptation of the sea-level beast meat, the flame red tiger let out a long roar, and its speed was even faster than before. Taking big strides, rolled up the dust, and ran towards the camp. By this time, everyone in the live broadcast room also understood. Su Yu did a great job, not to mention opening the golden treasure chest. He didn't even show them the silver treasure chest. Su Yu, you are amazing. On the back of the flame red tiger, Su Yu hummed a little song, apparently in a good mood. Half an hour later, Su Yu could already see the courtyard in the distance. And the robot dog is lying at the gate of the courtyard, waiting for the owner. I saw a bronze treasure chest on its back. There are still. No matter how determined Su Yu's mind is, he still feels numb in his head. What is it today? Poke the treasure chest nest. Don't stop this one after another. Wow, woof woof. The robot dog has already smelled Su Yu, biting its tail and carrying a bronze treasure chest. Come here as if to invite credit. When everyone in the live broadcast room saw that touch of blue. It's all muggles. Here, is there a bronze treasure chest? Fake. Are you people from the Dragon Kingdom cheating? Aussie, I think Su Yu is hanging out. Surprises keep coming. Really, surprises keep coming. My roommate is crying. I beat you to cry. I think other players don't need to play anymore, they can already retire. Su Yu is strong in himself, and with the props from these treasure chests, who has ever fought hard? I just want to know, can Su Yu open a treasure chest? Bronze ones are fine too, let's see golden light too. Upstairs, stop dreaming, I know Su Yu's character. Just when everyone was discussing, Su Yu walked straight into the courtyard with 3 treasure boxes on his shoulders. Immediately, the live broadcast screen has automatically switched to remote shooting. Really? Show us none. In the courtyard, Su Yu went to wash his hands before coming to the treasure chest. Let's have something good. Just when Su Yu wanted to open the treasure chest. Roar. There was a loud roar from outside the house. The whole courtyard trembled. Afterwards, Su Yu heard the roar of the flame red tiger and the sound of bullets being fired. Problem occurs. Without hesitation, a dodge appeared outside the courtyard. Then, 500 meters away, there was a giant boa constrictor fighting with the flaming red tiger. The boa constrictor is 10 meters long, with 3 black fine lines on its head, and its whole body is covered with dark brown net-like patterns. Holy Python. Grade. C+ level. After devouring the holy fruit, it will evolve. The temperament is rough, the winding power is very strong. At this time, the flame red tiger's neck was tightly entangled by the tail of the giant python, unable to break free. The holy python has opened its mouth wide, ready to swallow the flaming red tiger. Stab. Su Yu naturally wouldn't let this happen. With a kick, the shadowless sword in his hand burst into a bright blue light. Next moment, Su Yu's figure has appeared behind the giant python. He raised the shadowless sword high in his hand. Surrounded by the sound of breaking the air. Cut off the lower jaw of the holy python directly. Blood spilled all over the sky. Die. Click click. Hearing a roar, a huge thunder shot out from Su Yu's hand. It hit the python's head precisely. Boom. Ah ah ah. Amidst the screams, blood spattered, and a burnt smell filled the air. The head of the giant python has been blown into pieces. Ding, you have successfully killed the C+ grade holy python, deduction point plus 4000. From Su Yu's appearance until the end of the battle. It took less than 1 minute in total. Before everyone in the live broadcast room could react, the battle was over. After Su Yu made sure that the flame red tiger was safe, he walked towards the room with confidence. When the live broadcast screen switched again, everyone reacted. What kind of strength is this? C+ rank monster, since when did it become so weak? Or is it because Su Yu is stronger? What is that blue light? Could it be the skill carried by the weapon? In the room, Su Yu washed his hands again. Then came to the treasure chest, ready to open. Let's start with you. The left hand touched the bronze treasure chest and opened it directly. Ding, you successfully opened the bronze treasure chest. After a green light, a bunch of items exploded from the treasure chest. Double Eagle Dagger, Bronze Silver. Death Sickle, Bronze Level. Primary Energy Source X2. Treasure Map, Bronze Level. Cell, Bronze Level. Scrap Robot, Bronze Level. Wood X50, Stone X50, Freshwater X50, Bread X50, Alloy X50. Opening square bracket, closing square bracket. Su Yu himself didn't have much expectations for the bronze level treasure chest. After collecting the drawings and materials, directly exchange the 2 weapons to the system. Ding, you have successfully sold the death scythe, and you will get plus 100 deduction points. Ding, you have successfully sold the double eagle dagger, and you will get plus 100 deduction points. After 2 system beeps, the 2 weapons in Su Yu's hands have turned into deduction points. Only then did he refocus his attention on the remaining 2 treasure chests. Single quote. You successfully opened the silver treasure chest. After a flash of white light, the room was filled with a bunch of props again. Chaoyuan Changolin knife, silver grade. Broken soul long tears wrong, silver level. Primary energy source X8. Space shuttle blueprint, silver level. Elementary evolution potion X1. Wood Lihao block X100, freshwater X100, bread X100, stone block X100, meteorite X1. Opening square bracket, closing square bracket. What? It was a ring. Su Yu grabbed Broken Soul Changelirong to check. A light curtain came into view. Broken Soul and Long Tears. Rank. Silver level. Unique effect. With a different space, the owner of the ring can receive or release foreign objects according to his own will. It turned out to be a rare storage ring. Su Yu has long wanted a magic weapon for storage. Today, this wish has finally come true. Although in the Wasteland world, the role of the storage ring is very small. But in the real world, it has a huge effect. With the spiritual power to explore, Su Yu can clearly feel that there is a different dimension in the Soul Destroyer. An area of 1 cubic meter. With a thought, the shadowless sword in his hand has been stored in the storage space. Chapter 71. Now, only you are left. After processing the silver treasure chest, Su Yu rubbed his palms together and walked to the golden treasure chest. You successfully opened the golden treasure chest. Fire flame bead gold grade. Intermediate energy source X35. Snake race totem blueprint gold level. Refuge upgrade card gold level. Multifunctional evacuation vehicle blueprint gold level. Whistleblower robot gold level. Intermediate evolution potion X. Baizhong cigarettes silver grade. Meteorite X100, Chalcedony X100, Agate X100, Beeswax X130, Sapphire X50, Cloud Dragon Stone X300. Opening square bracket, closing square bracket. Today is really rewarding. Su Yu wanted to laugh out loud. Among the many materials, he was the first to discover the Cloud Dragon Stone, which is the material needed to arrange the Cloud Dragon array. It turns out that it can also be opened from the treasure chest. With just a little material, we can build the Cloud Dragon formation. Thinking of this, Su Yu grabbed a red bead. Fire Pearl. Rank: Yellow 267 gold grade. The only effect: a magical product created between heaven and earth. Players can increase the power of a certain fire element after wearing it. This is good. After reading the introduction, Su Yu's eyes lit up. Now, although he is a thunder and fire dual cultivator, his element is still a fire element. The appearance of Huo Yanju can undoubtedly greatly improve Su Yu's combat effectiveness. Let his fire elemental power be more pure and powerful. Think like this. Su Yu took out a gold nugget from his backpack. Immediately, a ball of flame burst out from the hand and wrapped the gold nugget. Under the control of Su Yu's spiritual power, the treasury in his hand is gradually deforming and becoming thinner. Soon, a necklace made of pure gold appeared in Su Yu's hands. Su Yu directly put the Huoyan pearl on a gold chain, hung it around his neck, and wore it close to his body. With Huo Yanju touching the body, Su Yu only felt that his body was surrounded by a wave of warmth. A fireball shot out of his hand again. From the blazing fireball, Su Yu clearly felt that its temperature was higher. It seems that BCFD needs to find a few beasts to test the latest ability. While thinking, Su Yu's eyes were attracted by an object. Is a pack of items similar to a cigarette box. It's literally a pack of cigarettes. Cigarettes of the Wasteland. Su Yu happily grabbed the pack of cigarettes and checked it. Baizhong cigarettes. Level: silver level. Description: after inhaling, it can help players quickly recover their physical strength. This cigarette can actually restore physical strength. It's kind of interesting, as expected of a product of the Wasteland world. Su Yu unpacked the package, looked around, and saw that there were 100 cigarettes in the box. I haven't smoked for 3 days, I really have some snacks. Su Yu was about to take out a cigarette and feel the wonderful smell. The miscellaneous robot pushed the door and entered, and the synthetic voice sounded. Master, lunch is ready. One after dinner is also a good choice. After Su Yu put the cigarettes in his backpack, he walked out of the room with the robot. Outside the hospital, the dead body of the giant python has been processed by several robots. The flame-red tiger was lying in the corner, happily nibbling on the snake meat. The original wound was scarred, healed. The ferocious beasts in the Wasteland world can evolve by devouring higher-level ferocious beasts. Therefore, the holy python meat is the best supplement for the flame-red tiger. Today's lunch is extremely rich. Under the superb cooking skills of the sundry robot, exquisite dishes were served one after another. Snake soup, steak, chicken stewed with mushrooms, stir-fried kidney, plus a plate of unnamed wild house. Bursts of aroma wafted out of the courtyard, making people's appetite greatly increased after smelling it. Su Yu sat at the dining table and started eating. The raw materials of these foods are high-level ferocious beasts, which can replenish spiritual power after eating. As Su Yu started to eat, white air wafted out after getting up. Yin Si eats a lot at noon. In the studio, Guo Qingfeng swallowed his saliva, and said with a subterranean smile. He didn't even have lunch yet, and Su Yu gave him this one again. What a nuisance. Everyone in the live broadcast room saw Suyu eating those delicacies, their mouths were almost drooling, and they sent all kinds of barrages one after another. I'm Nima. Is it the wrong way to open it? How can it give me the feeling of watching a food show? Suyu, don't forget, this is the Wasteland world. You are a bit arrogant. Well, I'm hungry too. I put poison at noon. I originally wanted to lose weight for the goddess. Forget it, order a takeaway to eat. Hey, Suyu is so perfect. Even eating is so handsome. As this, the horror of the brainless fan. In a short time, all the food in front was wiped out by Suyu. Pat the belly lightly, and a golden light follows. Bai put the cigarette in his hand. As the saying goes, a cigarette after a meal, happy like a fairy. Under everyone's amazed eyes, Suyu took out a white cigarette and put it in his mouth. Puff, a flame came out of the middle finger, and the cigarette was lit. Call, call, call. While swallowing the clouds, Suyu trembled all over. This feeling, indescribable. No smoking for minors. Everyone in the live broadcast room was stunned. Is this a cigarette? Is there such a wonderful thing in the Wasteland world? I've never heard of it. Where did Suyu get it? Could it be from opening a treasure chest? Where is Guo Qingfang? Hurry up and get out, let's explain it. In the Wasteland world, there are cigarettes, and they all have magical abilities. For example, heal wounds, recover stamina, improve combat effectiveness. As for the one in Suyu's hands, I can't make a correct judgment due to limited conditions. Under the urging of the audience, Guo Qingfeng quickly came out and explained. While smoking, Suyu was also thinking about plans for the afternoon. And the coming nightfall. He knew very well what would happen when the fourth night came. Wasteland fourth night, never ending. When night falls, there will be an overwhelming number of beasts, attacking each player's camp. Although these ferocious beasts are low-level ferocious beasts, there are a lot of them. With a huge number, they poured into each player's camp and destroyed everything in the camp. In this level, there are many strong people who fell down. Therefore, many players will unite and fight together. And Suyu is only one person. He also only believes in himself. Therefore, Suyu decided to strengthen the various facilities in the camp, and at the same time build more defensive equipment to ensure that there is nothing wrong with it. Bounce the cigarette butt in your hand high. There was an extra golden card in his hand. Refuge upgrade card, gold level. After use, the level of the shelter can be directly upgraded to the gold level. Ding, you have successfully used the shelter upgrade card. When the golden card was crushed by Suyu, it turned into streaks of golden light, quickly wrapping around the shelter. After golden light, the shelter has undergone a sea change. The originally luxurious courtyard house disappeared, and transformed into a solemn mansion. Refuge gold level. Level 3. It has extremely strong defense power and can block the attacks of ordinary D-rank beasts. He was directly promoted from a landlord to a prince. Suyu looked at the mansion in front of him and said with emotion in his heart. This miraculous scene attracted discussions among the people in the live broadcast room. The courtyard is perverted enough. Are you riding a horse and still coming to the palace? If other contestants know about this, will they still be alive? The other contestants are all cabins, you're going too far. Book title. The Days of Being a Prince in the Wasteland World. Brothers, how about this book? I'll do it. The brothers upstairs can do it. The title of your book is Invincible, and the sense of anticipation is full. You go to distribute the book, and I will definitely give you a full order. Hurry up and distribute the book. If you call Dad again, I will give you a monthly ticket and a reward. Dad. In the mansion, Suyu has opened the operation page and is upgrading and building. Ding, you consume Iron Block X1800, Alloy X1800, Chrome Block X1800, and successfully upgraded the steel fence to level 3. Ding, you consume Iron Block X800, Wood Block X900, Fine Sand X400, Stone Block X500, and successfully built a cellar. Ding, you consume Iron Block X600, Gunpowder X600, Alloy X600, and successfully build a defensive turret. Ding, you have successfully built the Snake Clan Totem by consuming Golden Nanmu X400, Chalcedony X300, Spar X300, and Gold X1000. Since launch, the sound of construction in the camp has not stopped. Su Yu built all useful buildings. At the same time, certain upgrades and supplements have been made to the defense equipment of the camp. Time passed by like this. The materials in the backpack are also being consumed rapidly. When the time came to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the armed forces of the entire camp have been upgraded to a higher level. Several forts, like steel giants, stood around the camp. At the same time, the steel fence outside the camp has reached a height of 4 meters, and its thickness is more than 1 meter. It is enough to withstand the full blow of ordinary C-rank beasts. However, Su Yu's eyes have been focused on a magical building. It was a snake-shaped statue carved and cast from gold and jade. It was 2 meters high and exuded a strange power. Snake totem. Level. Gold level. The ancestor of the snake group is carved. It has absolute suppression against snake creatures and can protect the camp. Although this totem is very inconspicuous, its construction cost is expensive, consuming a lot of high-grade materials of Su Yu. And its function is only one. It can keep the camp from being harassed by snake-like beasts below the level. At first hearing this effect, it may not have any effect. But when night falls, it works its magic. You must know that there will be a large number of D-rank beasts descending tonight. There must be many snake-like beasts mixed in. When the camp has this totem, those snake-like beasts will not enter the range of the camp. This will undoubtedly reduce Su Yu's burden. Just as Su Yu was thinking about the camp, whether there were any defensive loopholes. 3 message prompts sounded in my mind. Ding, you have received a private chat message. Ding, you have received a private chat message. Ding, you have received a private chat message. Who is this? While whispering softly, Su Yu opened the chat channel to check. Wang Peng. Boss Su. Are you there? Tonight is the 4th night. Our boss asked me to ask you if you want to form a team with us. Many people are powerful. If we work together, we can definitely survive the invasion of the 4th night. Please call back. After seeing the private message, Su Yu didn't even think about it, and immediately replied. Thank you, Captain, for me, I'm still used to fighting alone. At the same time, the remaining players in Wasteland World started to act. They began to look for suitable teammates and team up to survive the invasion tonight. World Channel. John. At Bulwell, are you teaming up today? I'm a little panicked. We're all American. You get points. Bulwell. Okay. Just give me the points. I can team up with you. Elizabeth. At Su Yu. Hanny. People are so scared. Can you come and protect me? Antonio. At Selvin. Bro. Do you know what I mean? Sai Irfan. Ula. We are both Shangguo players, we must take care of them together, of course there is no problem in forming a team. In a short time, these players all found a partner to cooperate with and decided to form a team together to resist tonight's attack. Except for Su Yu, he still fights alone. 1. What did you say? Su Yu, he actually refused. Why, didn't you explain to him the rules of the 4th night? In the camp, the Yebai team is waiting for Su Yu's reply. When they received the news of Su Yu's refusal, they were deeply puzzled. If they teamed up with Su Yu, they would be able to resist the invasion of the beast more easily. This is totally a win-win situation. They couldn't figure out why Su Yu refused the request. It's because of points. Still don't believe them. Or for other reasons. It's so hard. They scratch their heads and can't figure it out. Through the exchange of several members of the Yebai team, everyone in the live broadcast room also heard the amazing news of April 20th. And passed it on. Soon, many netizens received this amazing news. Similar to Yebai team's performance, Longguo netizens also couldn't figure it out. Why would Su Yu refuse such a request? From their perspective, working together is a good thing for both parties. Why did Su Yu refuse? Let's be steady, shall we? Isn't he afraid of accidents? At the same time, foreign netizens who received the information were extremely excited. In their view, this is a sign of arrogance. How dare you challenge the 4th night of the Wasteland World alone? Isn't this old birthday star eating arsenic? Is it impatient to live? You know, even Bulwell, who has awakened the B-level elements, chose to team up with John to resist the invasion tonight. Su Yu, who is also a B-level awakener, unexpectedly rejected the team request of his own country's players. Even if you, Su Yu, are the second awakener, you shouldn't say that. This is not arrogance, what is it? For this reason, they are looking forward to Suyu's performance tonight. They will be even happier if Suyu dies in tonight's invasion. In the mansion, Suyu was lowering his head and thinking about what ability he should upgrade. For him now, the system deduction points are no longer enough to upgrade all his abilities. Therefore, it is necessary to plan reasonably and use these deduction points wisely. After a brief thought, Suyu has made a decision, called up the system panel, ready to upgrade. As for why he refused the Yabai team's request, the reason is simple. He didn't want to expose his true strength in front of the players. Being watched by everyone in the live broadcast room and getting in touch with players are two completely different concepts. Viewers watched through the live broadcast, at most they could feel that he was very strong. Many details could not be verified. But getting in touch with players is different. If you don't pay attention, you may expose the existence of the system. At that time, I am afraid that someone will be caught and sliced for research. Besides, Suyu is not familiar with the Yabai team. Rather than fighting with hands tied, it is better to fight alone. Suyu believes that with his own upgrades, coupled with the assistance of the defensive buildings in the camp, it can completely withstand the invasion tonight. In Suyu's live broadcast room, everyone was discussing the latest topics enthusiastically. You've heard that Boss Su rejected the invitation of the Yabai team. Wow, Boss Su is still so lonely. It's so handsome. Upstairs, there must be a limit for stupid fans. Suyu rejected the invitation of the Yabai team, which is equivalent to losing the help of his teammates. Suyu is too confident this time. How dare he face the challenge of the fourth night alone? We must know that people will always be exhausted. Facing the overwhelming invasion of beasts, can Suyu persevere alone? If you lose your strength, you will die from the murderer. Ahem, have you forgotten? Boss Su is a man who successfully withstood 20 rounds of ferocious beasts in one go. Is this also called limited stamina? Ah, that's how many beasts. The fourth night has countless beasts. Dingyu spent 1200 deduction points and successfully upgraded Dugu 9 swords to level 4. Dingyu spent 1200 deduction points and successfully upgraded the Phoenix Immortal Fire technique to level 4. Dingyu have consumed 2400 deduction points and successfully upgraded the Fire Fist to level 4. Ding, you have consumed 2000 deduction points and successfully upgraded the White Eyes to level 3. A series of system prompts sounded. Suyu's remaining deduction points are all used to upgrade abilities, accompanied by golden lights pouring into his mind. Let him have a deeper understanding of these abilities. There were many things that I didn't understand, and suddenly, a sense of joy swept over my body. Immediately, the stagnant cultivation base suddenly rose a bit. Breathe. With each breath, sparks and electric arcs began to float up behind Suyu. As soon as the power of those elements appeared, they were tightly attached to his body. As time went by, a strange scene happened. I saw that Suyu's body was divided into two by the power of two elements. The left body is wrapped by fire elements, forming a red armor, and the right body is wrapped by thunder elements, forming a blue armor. At this time, Suyu, under the reflection of the two-color armor, is like a god descending into the world, holy and terrifying. Boom! The balance of the two irritable elements instantly collapsed, and with a roar, they began to explode in the entire room. Receive. An indifferent voice sounded from the room, and those chaotic elemental forces disappeared in an instant. Suyu took all of them into his body. I am strong again. Feeling the great changes in his body, Suyu was also extremely surprised. He didn't expect this upgrade to bring him such a big change. With the improvement of ability, Suyu has a greater grasp of the upcoming danger. I was even more vaguely looking forward to the nightfall in my heart. Night 4, here I come. After that, Suyu received many private chats one after another. There are invitations for players from other countries to form teams. There are also retests by Wangpeng and others. Suyu didn't respond to any message, so Quan pretended not to see it. After dinner, Suyu is fully prepared. First, he turned on all the defensive equipment in the camp, and then gave different instructions to several robots. The Sundry robot controls the turret, aiming and releasing artillery fire. The rest of the war-type robots were arranged by Su Yu at various positions in the camp, and were responsible for killing those who slipped through the net. Only then did he hold the shadowless sword and sat by the campfire, waiting for the arrival of darkness. At the same time, the map players are also actively map the king. Repair camp defense equipment. Discuss tonight's defense plan. When the time came to 5:15, netizens from various countries also poured into the live broadcast rooms of each contestant. Here we come. The fourth night is coming. So nervous. I don't know how many players will die tonight. I want to know who will be the number one tonight. Is it going to be Su Yu? I'm afraid it will be difficult this time. The other contestants are all in groups, but he is the only one facing the attack of the beast. 12 inches, yeah. If only Su Yu could cooperate with Yubai team. When the time came to 6 o'clock, the sky gradually darkened. An announcement appeared in front of all the players. The endless darkness has arrived. Countless fierce beasts are about to come. Perhaps you were lucky and successfully escaped the attack of the first 3 nights, but after tonight, you will become the food of the beast. This night, only the strong can survive. After 3 beeps in a row, the entire Wasteland world was completely darkened. If someone looks up, they will find it. There is no moon in the sky, and no twinkling stars. There is only intense darkness to the extreme. There was a depressing atmosphere in the air, and streaks of colorless and odorless gas began to spread across the entire land. This colorless gas is characteristic of the fourth night. The name of this colorless gas is Fury Gas. When wild beasts inhale this kind of berserk energy, they will be driven by instinct and become extremely ferocious. There is only endless killing in his eyes, wanting to destroy everything. Even a docile squirrel dares to jump up and kill. Worried mice dare to challenge the majesty of wild cats. Not to mention those low-level beasts. Plus that overwhelming quantity. This is where the real horror of fourth night comes in. This is also the reason why those players are afraid. The endless ferocious beasts continuously attack the players' camps. When their physical strength was exhausted, they could only become the food of these ferocious beasts. At this moment, a green bright spot lit up in the distant forest. Immediately, more and more green dots lit up. In the dark, it is so conspicuous. Ah, ah, after a howl, wild wolves more than half a meter tall walked out of the forest one after another. Approaching 100 wild wolves, they roared and ran towards Su Yu's camp with strong limbs. In addition, all kinds of ferocious beasts in the forest gradually woke up after exhausting their berserk energy. Quote exclamation mark quote. Su Yu opened his eyes, and a cold light came out. He saw it. In addition to those wild wolves, there are many fierce beasts in the forest that have awakened. Holding the shadowless sword in his chest, he waited for the opponent's arrival. The speed of the wolves is very fast, but only half a minute. Then he came to Su Yu to get close. When the wild wolf saw Su Yu, the green light in his eyes completely changed, turned into a bewitching red. The canine teeth in the mouth began to grow longer and sharper. Ah! While howling, he rushed towards Su Yu violently. Swipe, 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 facing the culling of 100 wild wolves. Su Yu's expression was still so indifferent. The shadowless sword in his hand drew a dazzling white light in the dark night, piercing the sky. Next moment, countless wolf heads flew out. Ding! You successfully killed the wild wolf. The deduction point is plus or minus 100. Ding! You successfully killed the wild wolf. Deduction point plus 100. Ding! You successfully killed the wild wolf. Deduction point plus 100. Opening square bracket, closing square bracket. Accompanied by the system prompt sound. The wild wolf in the field has been completely wiped out by Su Yu. Less than a minute, 100 wild wolves died like this. Everyone in the live broadcast room was stunned. They feel, Su Yu seems to be stronger. Although these wild wolves are just ordinary ferocious beasts, they have all inhaled the rage. Plus the number of these 100. Solved in a minute. This speed is too fast. Is this something humans can do? But the Wasteland world doesn't give the players time to rest at all. The wolf had just died. Then a new group of fierce beasts came from here. It was a group of poisonous snakes. Various color markings, various varieties. They were densely packed and crawled towards Su Yu. In the surprised eyes of everyone, a miraculous scene happened. Those poisonous snakes just stepped into the vicinity of Su Yu's camp. They were all fixed in place, motionless, trembling with fright as if they had encountered some terrible existence. Even if they inhaled the berserk air, they couldn't make them move a step. What's the matter? Why doesn't the poisonous snake move? Are they afraid of fire? Or Su Yu's domineering side leak scared them silly? I don't understand. It is reasonable to say that the poisonous snake has absorbed the anger, and it has not been filled in for a long time. I know why. In the studio, Guo Qingfang was the first to react. He explained to the bewildered crowd. It's the Snake Clan totem. In the Su Yu camp, the effect caused by the Snake Clan totem. These venomous snakes are indeed driven by instinct after absorbing their rage. However, the racial suppression brought about by the Snake Clan totem is also their instinctive reaction. Therefore, these poisonous snakes will stop. Just when Guo Qingfang explained to everyone, the movement in Su Yu's hands didn't stop. Fireballs emerged from his hands one by one, running towards the stagnant snake in the field. As soon as the terrifying fire elemental power came into contact with their bodies, they were burned to ashes. Ding, you successfully kill the poisonous snake, deduction point plus 100. Ding, you successfully killed the poisonous snake, deduction point plus 100. Ding, you successfully killed the poisonous snake, deduction point plus 100. At the same time, in the Wasteland world, each player was attacked by different beasts. Although they are all low-level beasts, but they all have one thing in common, the odd number. Looking at it from a distance, it was so dark that it was chilling. Today, many players have died at the hands of these countless beast hordes. Next to a shelter, the Yebai team was facing the attack of a group of mutated rats. Squeak, countless hissing, sharp and ear-piercing. Hearing the reputation, he saw countless black figures moving quickly. Those red eyes were fierce and terrifying. From a distance, it looks like a black wave. First round, let me go first. Yi Bufin stepped out from the crowd. He took out the sword from his waist and charged directly at the leader of the rat group. All of a sudden, the scene was full of sword lights. Roads of blood began to shoot. The rest of the team members didn't make a move, and looked around cautiously. This is what they planned long ago. Every time a ferocious beast strikes, the team sends a member to kill it. The rest of the members assisted from the side and rested by the way. Only in this way can we save energy to the maximum extent. This is also a method commonly used by other players in the Wasteland world. Otherwise, relying on their physical strength, it would be difficult to persist until the end of the fourth night. Some small island. Bulwell happened to be standing with his back to John. It turned out that the corpses of fierce beasts had fallen around. This is already the second round of beast tide they resisted. Ha, your injury is a bit serious. Bulwell glared at John with a slightly displeased tone. Because of John's arm injury. After this battle, he was basically the one who contributed. There was a trace of dissatisfaction in my heart. If he had known that John was seriously injured, he would not have agreed to the other party's request. It is equivalent to an extra burden. If it wasn't for the live broadcast, Bulwell would probably kill the opponent directly. When John saw Bulwell's expression, he vaguely guessed some possibilities. He cursed secretly in his heart, fake. If I hadn't been injured, I wouldn't have teamed up with you. On the surface, he said kindly, Brother Bulwell, don't worry, I won't hold you back. In the camp, at this time, Su Yu is facing the arrival of the third wave of beasts. The quality of the beast tide this time was significantly higher than the previous two batches. It was made of strong and fierce mutant porcupines. The hair on the back stood up like a sharp sword. The sharp fangs flashed a cold light, looking extremely sharp. Hey, hey, his scarlet eyes stared at Su Yu, and white smoke was continuously sprayed out from his nostrils. Try my new ability. Su Yu's eyes flashed red. Countless flames gathered in Su Yu's hands. Boom, a huge fireball just appeared in Su Yu's hands. The dazzling firelight directly illuminates the surrounding darkness, just like daytime. Under the surprised eyes of everyone in the live broadcast room, Su Yu didn't bombard the porcupine in the field with the fireball, but threw his hand into the sky. Boom, boom. After a sudden roar, the fireball exploded in the air. The terrifying fluctuation of spiritual power brought a powerful shock wave and swept it around. Flowers, plants, and trees snapped. This is not the most critical. Everyone in the live broadcast room saw it. After the fireball exploded in the air, it transformed into a series of hot fireballs, cut through the sky, brought a red arc, and slammed into the porcupine that was rushing. Bang, 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 bang. Whenever a fireball hits the ground, the porcupines within a radius of a few meters are smashed into a pulp before they even have time to roar. Amidst the dust, the ground has begun to sink, and the surrounding area has become a sea of flames. Those porcupines, even if they were not killed by the falling fireball, died in this sea of fire. Ding, you successfully killed the porcupine, deduction point plus 150. Ding, you successfully killed the porcupine, deduction point plus 150. Ding, you successfully killed the porcupine, deduction point plus 150. Ding, you successfully killed the porcupine, deduction point plus 150. Opening square bracket, comma, closing square bracket. After a series of system prompts, thousands of deduction points have been credited. This made Su-Yu very happy. On the contrary, he looked forward to the next invasion of beasts even more. After all, those are all deduction points. Quote. More. 1 round is not enough. I want to play 10 rounds. 100 rounds. What is that? What's going on? Is that a meteor shower? Let's watch the meteor shower together. I'm stupid. My mother. Is this boss sus latest ability? The audience in the live broadcast room were dazed, staring at the lonely figure in the field. What kind of ability is this? Can a B-level awakened person really do it? They feel that their worldview has been ruthlessly destroyed by Su-Yu. When will it start? Meteor showers can also be DI'd by yourself. Really, you? Su-Yu. This is a miracle. After seeing all this, Guo Qingfang couldn't help but sigh with emotion. He also wanted to know how Yin-Si came up with this skill. Not only the damage is exaggerated, but the appearance is also online. As for the belied in the eyes of the audience, that's just because it's the product of the explosion of the huge fireball. After the exploded fireball fell, a line of fire was brought up, which looked like meteors landing on a boat from a distance. That's why everyone thought it was a meteor shower. And this so-called belied is the product of Su-Yu's whim. He directly pushed the fireball into the air and controlled it to explode directly. The thrust from the explosion, combined with the inertia of the descent, allows those scattered fireballs to do more damage. Su-Yu never thought that his ability to get along casually would bring such a miraculous effect. I'll call you belied from now on. Boom. Another loud bang suddenly sounded in the quiet open space. Hearing the reputation, he saw a man whose fists were wrapped in raging flames, fighting against the tide of beasts in the dark night. Every punch is blasted, all accompanied by a fireball the size of a baby's head flew out. These flying fireballs were like grenades, and after hitting the beast tide, they exploded on the spot, rolled up a burst of fire, and turned the surrounding ferocious beasts into ashes. As Su-Yu punched faster and faster, the number of fireballs shot is also doubling. Ding, you successfully killed the mutant lizard, deduction point plus 80. Ding, you successfully killed the mutant lizard, deduction point plus 80. Ding, you successfully killed the mutant lizard, deduction point plus 80. Opening square bracket ... closing square bracket. After counting interest, the beast army in front of Su-Yu disappeared just like that. All turned into countless deduction points and entered the system. Looking at the system page, it has reached 40,000 deduction points. Su-Yu was overjoyed. These animal swarms, which are the most terrifying in the eyes of other players, have become the cutest creatures in Su-Yu's eyes. Su-Yu is very clear. As long as I can survive this night, the deduction points I get this time may exceed the sum of the previous nights. What kind of ability can be deduced with 200,000 deduction points? How about 300,000, what can be deduced? Just thinking about it, Su-Yu felt full of strength. At this time, Su-Yu's live broadcast room was completely quiet. Everyone in the live broadcast room looked at the fiery red figure in the dark, dazed, and their breathing began to rush. If these netizens didn't believe it before, they could survive the fourth night alone. However, after these 3 beast-tide battles, they realized how naive their thoughts were. Turns out I didn't know Su-Yu well enough. Just relying on one person, he dared to face the black beast horde attack. If he's strong enough, maybe he can keep going. But is he strong enough? At this moment, all the viewers in Suyu's live broadcast room were thinking about this question: would Sunning have enough physical strength to continue fighting like this? But then, Suyu answered them with his actions. The Wasteland world doesn't give Suyu time to rest. When this batch of beast hordes had just ended, black figures appeared in the sky. It was a black crow the size of an adult's head. There were as many as 100 of them, and they covered the sky above Suyu air tightly. Quack, quack, the shrill cry of the crow echoed throughout the sky. Cry, cry, cry. With the screams, the crows finally moved. He swooped down towards Suyu below. The golden bird's beak flashed cold lights in the dark night, accompanied by the sound of piercing the air, and violently attacked Suyu. Swipe, swipe, even in the face of the combined attack of 100 crows. Suyu's expression was still so indifferent. Under the effect of Bian, the speed of these little things was infinitely slowed down by him. Coupled with Lingbo Weibu's powerful reaction speed, Suyu can always avoid the attacks of these crows. He can avoid the crow's attack, but the opponent cannot avoid Sunning's attack. Whenever Suyu hits the shadowless sword in his hand, then several crows died under the sword. Dingyu successfully killed the mutant crow, deduction point plus 80. Dingyu successfully killed the mutant crow, deduction point plus 80. Dingyu successfully killed the mutant crow, deduction point plus 80. Opening square bracket ... closing square bracket. In the dark, a figure was surrounded by a group of dark crows. Those black crows kept attacking Suyu with their sharp beaks and wings. And Suyu's figure always dodges this BCDJ attack just right. Immediately, a white light was drawn from the shadowless sword in his hand. Whenever the white light is on, there are always several crows falling down. Gradually, more and more dead crows gathered around Suyu. The number of crows surrounding him is getting rarer. 3 minutes later, not a single crow survived in the arena. The densely packed corpses of crows lay quietly at Suyu's feet, blood staining the ground. If someone checks these crows, they will find that the cause of their death is exactly the same: they were all fatally shot by Suyu. With the end of the battle, the live broadcast room exploded instantly, and countless barrages appeared. It's over so soon. I just need to go to the bathroom, then it's gone. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Suyu didn't use any elemental power. He killed these crows with just the sword in his hand. This is too scary. This is not the scariest thing. Just look at Suyu's clothes. Not even a single damage. That was an attack by a group of crows. Could it be that he avoided them all? When this barrage appears, everyone was aroused by the success, and they all set their eyes on Suyu's clothes. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. I saw that Suyu's black leather clothing was still intact after this battle. Not to mention the holes, not even the crow's blood was splashed. How can that be? Could it be that all the crow's attacks were dodged by Suyu? That's hundreds of crows attacked together. Oh my gosh, what a sharp reflex and a quick reaction is required to complete this. Unimaginable. Suyu didn't know the crowd in the live broadcast room, and was overwhelmed by his own body skills. The reason why he didn't use elemental power in this attack. In addition to the reason that the use of elemental power was too expensive, Suyu also wanted to take this opportunity to recover his spiritual power. Yes, he can also recover spiritual power in battle. This is nonsense to other players, but Suyu can do it. This is the ability brought about after reaching the 4th level of Yi Jin Jing. The current Suyu can get a lot of spiritual power supplements just by breathing. You must know that when one round of Beast Tide ends, another round of Beast Tide will continue to appear. So in this round, Su-Si will use the sword to attack. Deliberately slow down the battle speed, and replenish your own spiritual power by the way. Guarantee that the next self can continue to fight. Boom, boom. Accompanied by loud bangs, Suyu ended another round of beast attack. This is already the 5th round of Beast Tide he has experienced. Everyone in the live broadcast room found that Suyu in the field didn't seem to know how tired. After several battles, his actions are still so vigorous. The power he wields is still so powerful. The heart raised by the people of Long Kingdom was completely relieved. They suddenly felt that Suyu seemed to be able to survive the invasion of the 4th night by himself. Suyu, come on. This is the voice of all of them at the moment. over time. Now, the irritability in the air has gradually dissipated. When the irritability completely disappeared, the attack of the beast tide will stop completely. It also means that the players have successfully survived the night. Just when Suyu was thinking wildly, anomalies suddenly appeared. Boom boom boom, boom boom boom. The earth began to tremble, flying sand and rocks. Huge figures stepped out first. This is not over yet. Behind him, there are still strange beasts following. This time, what Suyu faced was no longer a wave of beasts composed of a single type of fierce beasts. Dust and sand roll in the room. Suyu saw countless fierce beasts. Aerial, terrestrial, an army of beast tide composed of all kinds of low-level birds and beasts is attacking Suyu. The number is far more than before. Looking from a distance, it was black and dense, and the terrifying momentum was enough to destroy everything. How is this possible? When Guo Qingfeng saw all this, he panicked. He didn't expect Suyu to be so unlucky. He even encountered a mixed beast tide. This is the hardest level of the fourth night. On the fourth night, Wasteland World will randomly select one from all the players to become this lucky one. Quote, the lucky one will be attacked by the tide of mixed beasts. It was a beast tide composed of many kinds of ferocious beasts. Not only the quantity is large, but the quality is also far superior to those beast tides before. You must know that since the beginning of the Wasteland World, no player can successfully survive the attack of the hybrid beast tide. As a result, Suyu actually met him. This is no longer bad luck. It's just killing me. Under his explanation, the audience in the live broadcast room also understood. This, Boss Su, can you win? I'm throwing up. Why is there such a setting? I thought Mr. Su could get through this night. But it happened again. As the dog author targeting Suyu. Why do you want Suyu to meet the tide of mixed beasts? It's good for Langguo. Did the people upstairs forget that there are no Langguo players in the Wasteland World now, and they were all killed by Boss Su? Unlike the audience in the Dragon Kingdom, the foreign audience was completely excited when they saw the hybrid beast tide appear. They understand very well what the appearance of the hybrid beast tide represents. Being met by Suyu now, does it mean that Suyu is going to die? It turned out to be a hybrid beast tide. Looking at the beast tide army in the distance, Suyu was also taken aback. Didn't expect to be so lucky. There are so many deduction points that can be encountered. Now he is completely excited. These low-level ferocious beasts might be scary to others. However, Suyu didn't panic at all. In his eyes, these low-level beasts were just a bunch of deduction points. It just takes a little more time. Kill. In the surprised eyes of everyone, Suyu actually took the first step and rushed towards the mixed beast tide. Shut up. Just as he was sprinting, Suyu's whole body was enveloped by armed domineering energy. Plus a layer of fire element power. At this time, Suyu doubled in size, like a flame king. Suyu's speed is fast. But the time to count interest has rushed into the tide of hybrid beasts. The burning iron fist in his hand was raised high. Boom! It directly knocked a giant mammoth into the air. Ding, you successfully killed the giant mammoth, deduction point plus 200. That's it. In the surprised eyes of everyone, Suyu began to fight against the tide of mixed beasts. No flashy elemental skills, nor did he use his best swordsmanship. It's just pure hand-to-hand combat. Fist to the flesh, with every punch, a fierce beast died. This feeling is so cool that I can fly. Suyu was also enjoying the battle. With the blessing of armed domineering, his fists can have unparalleled strength. None of the ferocious beasts in the mixed beast wave could resist his punch. Boom! After a loud noise, the cheetah that was about to attack Suyu was directly blasted through the body by him, and blood was scattered all over the ground. Ding, you successfully killed the afterimage cheetah, deduction point plus 100. Brush. Suyu made an emergency stop. Dodged. The suddenly outstretched trunk attacked. The left hand stretched out like lightning, and directly caught the outstretched trunk. His feet sank, and with a slight effort, he directly lifted up the huge body of the mutated giant elephant. Amidst the screams of the giant elephant, Suyu had already been thrown into the tide of hybrid beasts. It crushed many heads to death and was about to attack Suyu's fierce beast. Ding! You successfully killed the mutant giant elephant, deduction point plus 150. Ding, you successfully killed the mutated ferocious black rat, deduction point plus 80. Ding, you successfully killed the mutant monster lizard, deduction point plus 100. The moment the system prompt sounded in my mind, several black figures rushed towards Su Yu again. The sharp claws are about to open Su Bao's head. Bang! Su Yu reacted very quickly. He had already reacted the moment the hounds made their move. He raised his arm high and blocked the blow. The left fist blasted out instantly. Boom! The heads of several hounds exploded like watermelons. Ding! You successfully killed the mutant hound, deduction point plus 100. Ding! You successfully killed the mutant hound, deduction point plus 100. Under the bombardment of Su Yu's iron fist, mutated beasts flew out of the beast tide one after another. That's it. Su Yu smashed the entire tide of mixed beasts with a destructive posture. Ding! You successfully killed the mutant earthworm, deduction point plus 100. Ding! You successfully killed the mutant spider, deduction point plus 80. Ding! You successfully killed the mutant flat-headed brother, deduction point plus 80. Opening square bracket ... closing square bracket. When the dust cleared away, in the arena, there was only one figure standing upright. Behind him, the corpses of various ferocious beasts lay all over the ground. This battle consumes time and is the longest time tonight. It was also the most exciting time for Su Yu. This fist-to-flesh battle made him feel a sense of joy. The cultivation base that had been stagnant also rose sharply in 267. About breaking through. Feeling the changes in spiritual power in his body, Su Yu opened the system interface. Deduction points. 90,000. Hiss. Seeing this number, even the calm Su Yu couldn't help but gasped. Just talking about this battle alone gave him a lot of deduction points. It would be great if there were 2 more invasions of hybrid beasts. While muttering to himself, Su Yu walked towards the camp. When everyone in the live broadcast room heard this sentence, the originally petrified expression froze again. Does this speak human language? Other players only think about what to avoid, and you actually want to do it twice. Aren't you a bit arrogant? Su Yu. The next few beast-tide attacks. What Su Yu encountered were all the most common animal horde attacks, and Mixed never encountered them again. He ended the fight easily. When the time came to the middle of the night, the violent air in the sky finally dissipated. The last wave of beasts poured out in front of Su Yu. That was a beast tide consisting of 100 armadillos. The body is dark brown, 1 meter long, covered with scales on the top of the head, a pair of small round ears grow on both sides, and the mouth is pointed and long. The bone scales arranged like tiles protect the body like hard armor. For this creature, Su Yu naturally understood. The whole body's defense is extremely strong, and ordinary weapons cannot break through the defense at all. I heard that your defense is very strong. Try this trick. Fire punch. While whispering softly, Su Yu raised his left arm horizontally. With the emergence of the fire element, Su Yu's arm turned into a huge flame with super high temperature. Next moment, a flaming giant fist appeared in the darkness, illuminating everything around. Like the brightest star in the dark. Driven by Su Yu. Boom! A huge fire fist was sent out suddenly. The fire fist brought a fiery red road along the road. The vegetation along the road evaporated instantly. And rushed into the group of armadillos with endless power. Boom! Boom! A high-temperature flame continued to expand and roll, rushing towards the surroundings at a speed unimaginable by ordinary people. These armadillos, as soon as they come into contact with the flame, evaporate instantly. Ding! You successfully killed the armadillo, deduction point plus 100. Ding! You successfully killed the armadillo, deduction point plus 100. Ding! You successfully killed the armadillo, deduction point plus 100. Opening square bracket ... closing square bracket. When the system prompt sounded, Su Yu has returned to the camp. When the fire fist was issued, he had already turned and left. Su Yu is very clear about the strength of his fire fist. It is definitely not something that armadillos can resist. Now he only wants to return to the room quickly and deduce new abilities. After Su Yu entered the room, the live broadcast screen switched, and everyone woke up from the shock. Is this wave of self-confidence turning back? The power of Su Yu's fire fist is still so terrifying. Look at the cracked ground, the raging fire, and the armadillo that was directly vaporized. I can only say that Su Yu's strength is bottomless. He killed 10 rounds of beast tides by himself, plus 1 round of hybrid beast tides. There is no suspense, this time the number 1 is Su Yu's again. It's inevitable, Bulwell and John didn't make it to the 7th round. In the room, Su Yu has already changed into clean clothes. Sitting cross-legged, thinking about what kind of ability I should deduce. His current combat power is enough to sweep the first floor of the Wasteland world. Now he has begun to set his sights on the 2nd floor. It's time to deduce attack capabilities. It's still time to play your mind. Just when Su Yu was thinking. In the Wasteland world, many players also ended the fight. Some small island. Bulwell was sweating profusely to deal with the last batch of beasts. It was an army composed of a group of mutated spiders. Hooray! With Bulwell's palm raised, the power of the thick earth element spread from the spider's feet. Bang! Bang! The ground around the beast horde began to crack, creating bottomless ravines. When Bulwell clenched his fists, a miraculous scene happened. I saw big yellow hands protruding from those ravines. Shoot towards the spiders in the field. Bang bang bang. After the loud noise, all the spiders in the field were patted into meat paste. Boss Boolean, you have worked hard. The first place tonight must be yours. Like a dog's leg, John came to Bulwell, took out a white tissue, and was about to wipe his sweat. Roll. Bulwell pushed John aside directly, and walked towards the shelter with big strides. Humph. John 5.6 looked at the distant figure with a gloomy expression. The fist in the hand was clenched tightly. Bulwell, don't let me get a chance, or kill you. At the same time, the Yabai team also ended the fight. Among the members of the team, many of them were painted. Fortunately no one died. I don't know how Boss Su is doing. Wang Peng lay on the grass and asked several team members. Who knows? If you're more stable, you might be able to survive. It's the first. It's difficult. Zuo Wenhao replied with a little regret. I also feel very sorry in my heart. If Su Yu can cooperate with them, the number 1 must still belong to Longguo. Now, I'm afraid it will be difficult. In the room, Su Yu has brought up the system panel. Deduction points, 140,000. With 140,000 deduction points, there are many things that can be deduced. Su Yu pondered for a while, and then opened his eyes. Su Yu's first thought was to deduce a physical technique. After this battle, the biggest feeling for him is the joy of hand-to-hand combat. What physical skills should be deduced? Speaking of gymnastics, the first thing Su Yu thought of was Bamindunjia. With all 8 doors open, the caster can be greatly improved in an instant, which is enough to injure that man, but the price is too high. The price of death is not something Su Yu can bear. The second is the Navy 6. There are 6 moves: shaving, iron block, paper painting, moonstep, haze foot, and finger gun. They are all good abilities, and they are also very practical. The third is 12 is Liashaoyan broken fist. A real boxing attack with extremely high lethality. Which one should I choose? After simple thinking, Su Yu has already made a decision. Flowing rock shattering fist. Can smoothly block the enemy's attack, and then hit the gap to win. This is the true meaning of Liashaoyan shattering fist. If you use it together with white eyes and armed color domineering, your melee combat will be basically incomprehensible. Think here. Su Yu asked the system. System, how many deduction points are needed to deduce Liashaoyan shattering fist? System. Ding, Liashaoyan shattering fist is a B+ level ability and requires 70,000 deduction points. 70,000. Su Yu used to feel a little bit of a headache, but now he has more than 100,000 deduction points. Don't panic at all. The system, I want to deduce Liashaoyan shattering fist. After speaking, Su Yu began to recall the animation of Liashaoyan shattering fist in his mind. Ding, are you sure to consume 70,000 deduction points to deduce Liashaoyan shattering fist? Confirm. Su Yu nodded with certainty. Boom. There was a roar in his ears, and Su Yu's mind was shaken. Then I saw several black villains floating in the sea of consciousness. Quickly make each action. The combination of those movements is Liashaoyan shattering fist. With the help of the system, Su Yu quickly entered the state. Follow the villain to imitate, feel the direction of spiritual power. The fist in his hand began to gesture irregularly. The spiritual power on his body is also fluctuating rapidly. Time passed slowly like this. Su Yu's movements became more and more proficient. Every time the fist hits, it will bring out the fist style. Crack, crack. From the room, there was the sound of bones exploding like fried beans. The current Su Yu, relying on his strong comprehension, the speed of deduction ability is getting faster and faster. 10 minutes later. Is this the flowing rock-shattering fist? While whispering softly, he slowly opened his eyes with both hands. Ding! Congratulations to the host, successfully launched the flowing water rock-breaking fist. As the system prompt sounded from his mind, it indicated that Su Yu had mastered Liushaoyan Shatter Fist, and the rest needed to be proficient or upgraded. Without hesitation, Su Yu directly called up the system panel, ready to upgrade Liushaoyan Shattering Fist. Ding! You have consumed 600 deduction points and successfully upgraded Liushaoyan Shattering Fist to level 2. Ding! You spent 1200 deduction points and successfully upgraded Liushaoyan Shattering Fist to level 3. Ding! You spent 2400 deduction points and successfully upgraded Liushaoyan Shattering Fist to level 4. After 3 consecutive beeps, Su Yu directly upgraded Liushaoyan Shattering Fist to level 4. Dots of golden light appeared in the room and quickly merged into Su Yu's body. Naturally, he would not let go of this free opportunity. Close your eyes again and feel the experience brought by the upgrade. I see, I understand. After the comprehension was over, Su Yu found that he had a deeper understanding of Liushaoyan Shattering Fist. It also gave him more experience in boxing attacks. Now Su Yu can kill C+ beasts at will with just Liushaoyan Shattering Fist. If it is paired with armed color domineering, the power is unbelievable. I really want to go to the second floor world quickly. There is no opponent here. Just when Su Yu was feeling emotional, the battle in the Wasteland world has come to an end. Many players have returned to the camp to recuperate. After this battle, there are 285 players left in the entire Wasteland world. This is only the 4th night. You must know that you must survive the 5th night before you can successfully get out. At that time, I don't know how many of these 285 contestants will successfully walk out of the. At this time, it is on the World Channel. As the players became free, the excitement resumed. Bulwell, at Su Yu. How many rounds of beast hordes have you killed this time? I killed 7 rounds of beast hordes. John, at Su Yu. Our old is asking you something. Get out of here soon. Elizabeth, bold, how dare you talk to my future husband like that? Don't let me out. Or I'll take your dog's head. Sai Irfan, I'm afraid Su Yu won't be able to do it this time. I heard that he rejected the cooperation invitation of the Yabai team. Tuer Suo, our battle this time is not bad, we have killed 5 rounds of beasts. We should be able to squeeze into the top 10. Opening square bracket, closing square bracket. At the same time, Wang Peng also opened the chat channel and checked. If he saw someone insulting Su Yu in the past, he would naturally not agree. However, this time he did not stand up, because he was not sure how many rounds of beast hordes Su Yu could defeat. You know, under the full force of their team, the group only killed 5 rounds of Zhengchao. The other players also cooperated to complete so many rounds of kills. But Su Yu is only one person. Now Wang Peng has a vaguely worse guess in his mind. He was worried that Su Yu was exhausted and had already died from this endless beast horde attack. Boss Su, don't die. Ding! You have received a private message. Ding! You have received a private message. Ding! You have received a private message. Since the end of the beast horde crisis, the system prompts in Su Yu's mind have not stopped. Like chasing a soul, it has been beating. This left him speechless for a while. I was really upset by the noise, so I opened the private chat information to check. Wang Peng, Boss Su, daughter, you still alive? Su Yu. When Su Yu saw this private message, they were all laughed out of anger. This Wang Peng is really a talent. Of the 99 pieces of information, all of them were this question. What was he thinking? How could he think he was dead? If it wasn't for the fact that he is also from the Dragon Kingdom, Su Yu would have wanted to block him. But even so, Su Yu still didn't reply any message to Wang Peng. While opening the private chat message, he also saw the message from the World Channel. After seeing those people's conversations, Su Yu couldn't help but smile. The real strong don't bother to explain these rubbish. After setting the chat channel to a shielded state, practice with eyes closed. Faint spiritual fluctuations began to surround Su Yu's body. In a short time, Su Yu entered into a mysterious state of practice. In this state, his comprehension has been greatly improved. On the other side, Tian Peng did not hear from Su Yu. More urgent. I started thinking wildly in my heart. In his cognition, when Sunning receives the message, he will definitely reply to himself. Now that there is no reply, it means that Boss Su is dead. Wang Peng couldn't sit still anymore, got up hastily, and passed this amazing news to all the team members. At the same time, the Dragon Kingdom people in the real world have already begun to celebrate. Even if the leaderboard for this night is not announced, they all know it. No doubt, Su Yu is definitely number 1. With a record of 10 rounds of regular beast swarms plus 1 comprehensive beast swarm, he overwhelmed all the players. This time, those foreign netizens also stopped jumping. Quietly like an idiot, the plot of forcibly filling a cup and slapping your face in the novel did not appear. The internet is also unusually quiet, and netizens are all focusing on this reward. They were all curious about what the reward for the 4th night would be. In the Yanjing meeting room, the old man and all the high-level officials are quietly waiting for the announcement of the leaderboard. Honestly, the old man never expected that Su Yu could go this far. When he learned that Su Yu had rejected Yebai's application to form a team, his blood pressure rose a lot. He secretly scolded Su Yu for disregarding the overall situation. It turned out delicious. Su Yu is still so steady. What a reliable kid. After seeing the old man performing Su Yu, the high-level executives behind him also praised him. With every sound of flattery, Su Yu was almost blown to the sky. When the time came to 5:15, the whole world fell silent. Everyone is looking forward to it, waiting for the arrival of 6 o'clock. Time flies. Early morning. As the sun rises slowly, the last trace of darkness is driven away. A world announcement appeared in front of all the players. The 4th night is over. Congratulations to Dragon Country player Su Yu with the talent of God of War, swept everything and successfully reached the top. The rewards here are as follows. Advanced Resource Gift Pack X10, Advanced Material Supply Pack X10, Special Skill Material Gift Pack X5, Gold Grade Blueprint X2, Gold Grade Equipment Treasure Box X2. Gold Treasure Map X1. I hope other contestants will work harder. The 5th night, there will be more dangers. After 3 consecutive beeps, each player has a leaderboard above his head. The 4th night kill list. First place, Long Guo player Su Yu points, 73,000 points. Second place, American player Bulwell points, 35,000 points. Third place, Shang Guo player Selfin points, 24,000 points. Fourth place, Longguo player Yi Qing points, 21,000 points. Fifth place, contestant from Eagle Sauce Country Elizabeth points, 15,000 points. Sixth place, A3 country player Ogden points, 8,700 points. Seventh place, Alla country player Francis points, 7,820 points. Eighth place, when the players saw the ranking list, they were all restless. They cannot believe what they see. 73,000 points. This bright red number, it's like a boulder landed. It directly shattered their strong self-confidence. World Channel, John, OMG, 73,000 points. How did Su Yu do it? Bulwell, Fact, I have killed 7 rounds of beasts, and I have not surpassed Su Yu. How many rounds did he kill? 10 rounds, or more. Elizabeth, hey, he is indeed my husband. He has worked so hard, but he has not surpassed you. Selvin, okay, I compromise. I will never argue with Mr. Su again. Torso, have you seen that Su Yu has taken care of you? Stop dreaming, you don't deserve to be his teammate at all. Selvin, I'm heartbroken, brother. In the Night White team's refuge. Groove, after a startling pig cry. Wang Zhaozhao Wang Peng, who was crying, got up immediately when he saw the leaderboard. Transformed into a baboon, he slapped his chest fiercely, expressing his excitement. He thought Su Yu was dead. As a result, Not only did he not die, but he also got the first place on the list. As expected of the boss that my Wang Peng recognized, he is really strong. After Wang Peng screamed, the other members of the team also woke up from the shock. They looked at each other for a while, full of a trace of helplessness. It turned out that they were worrying unfoundedly. Turns out Su Yu didn't need to cooperate with them at all. It turns out that Su Yu alone can defeat the attack of the beast tide. You can still get so many points. Among the team members, the originally complaining thoughts have long since disappeared. Turn to infinite adoration. That man is really scary. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.